Hey Gateman fans, welcome into the South Coast Health pregame show here at Spillane Field with Alex Fuez. I'm Cameron Ezeir. It's the Wareham Gatemen taking on the Bourne Braves in the front end of a home-and-home matchup tomorrow on the 4th of July. Wareham will be in Bourne to take on the Bravos. But let's focus on this Gateman team because yesterday they probably picked up their biggest win of the season, taking on the best team in the East Division. And granted, this is a Gateman team that is 7-11-1, so at the bottom of the West Division, but it didn't look like it. An 11-3 victory, 11 hits for the Wareham Gatemen, and in the early going, they looked fantastic. The pitching was there, the hitting was there, and Alex, I think we both could confidently say that that was the best team performance we've seen from this Gateman's group.
And a much-needed one. Defeated the three-game skid that they were on, and when our own Claire Foley interviewed the player of the game, Hogan Windish, and she just asked him, how does it feel to come out after losing three tough ones in a row? And he said, just it feels good. There's that relief that the offense showed through and showcased last night, and we had some early fireworks before the fourth.
It's a good sign to see a pair of home runs. Ryan Campos, you mentioned Hogan Windish. He had his second home run of the year. It just kept on carrying, which is a great sign for a Gateman team that has been stagnant most of the year on the offensive side of things. And let's focus on that offense a little more. The 2 through 6 hitters, out of the 11 hits that the Gatemen had yesterday, 7 of the 11 hits between Ryan Campos, Carter Graham, Alan Roden, Hogan Windish, Max Anderson. And these are 5 guys, and really just the entire team, but those 5 guys encapsulate what this Wareham team is about, which is, hey, the potential's there. The ceiling, we might have seen it yesterday, but these 5 can grow this team, and it's a really good sign to see them get going yesterday.
When you see a 7-11 record with a 1 tie, you think, okay, maybe this team has been struggling. Well, yes, they have been struggling, but they've lost some really close games that could have gone either way, and just not the Gateman way. I mean, their toughest loss and worst loss was just by 5 runs. I mean, that's nothing. So it's not like they're getting blown out every night. They're in every fight. I mean, 3 nights ago now, they were in a 5-5 game tie in the bottom of the ninth. They ended up getting walked off by the former Gateman and Tommy Troy, but that's the best team in the league to it. They were undefeated at 8-0. So that's just showcases just how special this team can be, and they're looking to pick up and continue that momentum with a big win last night, and then hopefully that carries over to tonight.
I think we'd both say it's a really good sight to see this team not lose by a large margin, because it just seems like they're in every single game. We're now in game 20 of 44, and you realize there's 24, 25 games left in the season. You still have a lot of off days where you can revitalize yourself. Not just that, but you're taking on teams in your division. You're still 4th, so you're still in the playoff hunt if you're the Wareham Gatemen. And one guy that's kept them in it, Hogan Windish. He has been unbelievable. Has hit safely in 16 of the 19 games, and he's the one guy that we can confidently say cannot miss a day, because he's the one bat and the one glove that this Gateman team needs in every single game.
And a glove that can play second base elite, but also Harvey Shapiro has been playing him in the outfield the last few weeks, playing him in left, and for the first time ever in his life playing center field the last few nights. So again, that's just what speaks to just how good Hogan Windish is.
So Hogan Windish out of UNC Greensboro, the former conference player of the year in the SoCon. So you expected him to come into this year and have a great season so far, and he's proven he leads the team in batting average. In terms of, he's got a large sample size. He's now played in all 19 games. We expect him to play today against Bourne as well. So it's Wareham against Bourne today for game 20 of 44 in the Cape Cod Baseball League season. And on the other side of the South Coast Health pregame show, we'll send it over to our third member of our team, Claire Foley, and she has more on today's game. Might talk about a player. We'll see what she has for the insight that she provides, and on the other side of that, me and Alex will rejoin you to talk more about the starting pitching matchup between Michael Sansone and Cade Boxrucker. So it's the Bravos and the Gatemen. Right now, this is the South Coast Health pregame show, and we'll see you on the other side.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at curry.edu.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous Colossal Lobster Rolls, piled high on a grilled brioche and served hot buttered or just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal.
Here with Jonathan Brand. Jonathan, yesterday in your outing, 4 innings of work, 4 strikeouts, only 3 hits. You also got a lot of run support, 7 runs within the time you were out there. How much easier does it make your job getting that offensive support?
Yeah, it makes everything a lot easier. You have a lot more confidence out on the mound. You don't have to press so much, so just kind of get to go out there and do your thing when you have that type of support.
And so far this season, you have a really good strikeout to walk ratio, 14-2. As a starter, how important is it to have a ratio like that?
Really important. It's let me go a little bit longer in games. It's helped me control the game more. It's led to more strikeouts, like you said, and just really being able to control all 4 pitches and limit what they're seeing at the plate has helped me out a lot this year.
And 2 of your starts were back-to-back in doubleheaders, so only 7 innings. Does that change your approach going into a game?
No, not really. I know the game's a little shorter, so maybe I can help us out and save the bullpen a little bit, but just kind of going out there with the same mindset every time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Here with World Series champion Jared Saltalamacchia. Coach, what's it like coaching down here at the Cape?
I'm enjoying it. Being with these young players, it's a little different than what I'm used to coaching at the high school level. So, getting a lot of athletes that, already kind of ready to move on to that next step in their journey. It's a lot of joy that I'm having, and just being able to teach them what I kind of learned growing up, and then what I took into the big leagues and trying to transfer that for these guys.
And as a former player, what's it like being able to coach and mentor these guys who are the next generation?
Oh, it means a lot. When my generation was coming up, that was kind of, the rite of passage. You had 23 veterans and 2 young guys, and those guys took care of you and taught you what it means to be a big league baseball player. And all those before us that kind of sacrificed so much so we can enjoy what we have right now. So trying to be able to instill that in them is kind of my job, I feel, as a retired player, but it's a lot of fun as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gateman.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. We welcome you back to Spillane Field with Alex Fuez. I'm Cameron Ezeir for the South Coast Health pregame show. We're previewing game 20 of 44 in the CCBL season between the Wareham Gatemen and the Bourne Braves. 2 teams in the West Division that are trying to catch up to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as well as the Cotuit Kettleers. Those are the top 2 teams in the West Division. This could be an integral matchup, a 2-2 tie. Headlined this matchup the second day of the season, and it's really odd that these 2 teams, the closest teams to each other, at least in Wareham's case, are only playing for the second time this season, but they'll play a lot in July, and we'll see the Bravos a whole lot more, including tomorrow as well. But focusing on this game, I think that the pitching matchup is something we have to hone in on, because it seems like Wareham either lives or dies by the pitching staff. If the pitching staff isn't there, then the offense can't get it going. But if the pitching staff is there, maybe it hypes up the offense a little bit. And we're going to see Michael Sansone in just his second 9-inning game, pitched in a couple double headers, but his 4th outing His first one pitched really, really well on opening day, but the last two he's given up a combined 8 earned runs, but he has gone longer into games. So what are you expecting out of Michael Sansone out of Fairfield today?
Well, Michael Sansone back home today on the mound, and like you said, Ken, the first 9-inning game since opening day. Michael Sansone, a strike thrower. I mean, that's what he is known for, and what Harvard Shapiro really relies on him is to get the crucial outs and to just be consistent and just have his command. He's not a velocity guy. That's not how he works, but he doesn't need that to be successful. We've seen him just utilize the breaking pitches and just pinpointing the breaking pitches for strikes that are so crucial to get the big outs when needed.
So Michael Sansone's on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen in his 4th start of the summer. For the Bourne Braves, it's Cade Boxrucker out of Campbell, a 4-0 record this past spring, but his ERA did drift above 7. So it'll be interesting to see how Michael Sansone recovers after pitching so well on opening day, but last couple of weeks he really hasn't gotten it going. But you're right, it's a player in Michael Sansone that relies more on technique, relies more on the intangibles rather than his velocity. You're looking at Michael Sansone right now, knowing that yesterday the bullpen was so good. How many are you expecting Michael Sansone to go, and what are your huge expectations for Sansone in this one?
I don't think there really are any huge expectations. I think the expectation is to just come out and just pick up and do your job. I think you want to carry over what Jonathan Brand did last night. He pitched phenomenal, worked through 4 innings and just did his job. And I think that's what Michael Sansone should do tonight. Big inner rivalry between the Bourne Braves, and that's exactly what you're looking for. I think Michael Sansone just simply has to do his job, and that's the expectation that Harvard Shapiro will have of him.
Well, so we'll see if Michael Sansone does his job or if Cade Boxrucker gets the best of him on the mound for the Bourne Braves. So for Claire Foley and Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir. We're going to see you on the other side for the second matchup of the season between these interdivisional rivals in the Wareham Gatemen and the Bourne Braves. This has been the South Coast Health pregame show. First pitch on the other side. It's the day before 4th of July, but still a beautiful day for the game of baseball. At Spillane Field, the Wareham Gatemen hosts the Bourne Braves for the second time this season. 2 teams vying to move up in the West Division. Alongside Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir. It's a Wareham Gatemen team sitting at 7-11-1, a Bourne Braves squad at 8-8-2. 2 teams that tied on the second day of the season 2-2 here at Spillane Field. This is part of a home-and-home matchup in which the Gatemen host the Bravos today, and they hit the road for the 4th of July day to take on the Bourne Braves across the bridge. Alex, what's really important about today is not just that Wareham can make it 2 straight wins in a row, but they're coming off a huge win over the YD Red Sox, 11-3, and now Michael Sansone's on the mound looking to keep this team on the right stride.
No, that's right, and like you said, Cam, Michael Sansone is going to be a crucial factor into really the game plan of how Harvard Shapiro needs to approach today. I mean, Michael Sansone needs to be the guy that Harvard Shapiro knows him as. That's a strike thrower and a guy that you can put out there and continue a winning streak.
Michael Sansone out of Fairfield University in his 4th start for the Gatemen this summer. The Sansone's on the mound. Leading off for the Braves is John Peck. Takes the first pitch for a strike. John Peck, the shortstop out of Pepperdine. He'll be followed beyond Matt Shaw, who leads this team in batting average out of Maryland, then Brennan Malone. That's the 1-2-3, the top of the order for the Bravos. Sansone, he delivers the 0-1. Fastball, swing and a miss from John Peck, who's one of 5 players on this Braves team with over 10 hits for a Bravos group that lost yesterday to the Falmouth Commodores 6-4, and that ended a 3-game win streak. Sansone, an 0-2 record, trying to replicate his performance against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on opening day. Drew a no decision, but 4 innings of work, and Alex, he was unbelievable. Only surrendered 2 hits, struck out 6, scoreless baseball, and walk none. He'll peer in and deliver the 1-2 to John Peck, the shortstop. Swing and a miss. Michael Sansone picks up a strikeout to open up this game, and that's K number 18. And we've talked time and time again about Michael Sansone and how he's just a strike thrower, Alex.
No, that's right, and did so right there. Got ahead 1-2 and just powered through a great off speed. Went slider to get Peck swinging, and already Sansone quickly back on the mound, ready to attack Shaw here.
The lefty now with 18 strikeouts to just 1 walk. To Matt Shaw out of Maryland, the third baseman. Swinging at the first pitch, another off speed, and it'll get Shaw swinging. For a player in Michael Sansone that sits mid-80s on his fastball, and his breaking balls will touch low 80s and sometimes sit high 70s. He's more known to be a technical pitcher rather than utilize a high velocity. 0-1 to Shaw, who fouls it back. A player in Matt Shaw, one of 3 righties to lead off the order for the Bourne Braves. Out of Maryland, leads this team in batting average.
But like you said, Cam, Sansone not a reliant velo guy, but he kind of beats that narrative that's been forced down everyone's face in recent time. You got to throw 100 to be successful. No, look at Sansone, he's phenomenal.
0-2 pitch, grounded to the left side. Scooped up Fabian over to first. There's 2 away. The defensive alignment for the Wareham Gatemen from third to first. Max Anderson, Derek Fabian making his first start at the shortstop position. He mainly played third base for the Florida Gators in the spring. Then Blake Wright out of Clemson is at second. At first is Carter Graham out of Stanford. From left to right, Kellum Clark, Hogan Windish, and Alan Roden. Catching and calling the signs for Michael Sansone is Ryan Campos. He's wrapped up his redshirt freshman season at Arizona State. So 2 away, Brennan Malone steps in. The Oregon Duck, designated hitter. 2-out pitch, big hack and a miss. And Sansone looks in a groove early. And you're right, we've talked about it off air a lot. A guy like Liam Hendricks is someone you can point at in Major League Baseball where he's not going to throw 95, 96, but his technique is so good. His ability to pick out locations is pristine. 0-1 on the off speed, misses outside, count 1-1.
You know, he can pitch, not throw, and there's not enough of those pitchers in this game anymore.
Brennan Malone started the season with the Brewster Whitecaps, was cut, and then picked up by the Bourne Braves. It's a couple days ago. This is just his 3rd appearance with the Bravos. Fastball outside. The umpiring crew at home plate, Bob Bland. At first, David Perry. Mike Beal is at third. 2 away in the top of the first on a beautiful day at Spillane Field. Day before 4th of July. The best way to celebrate America's pastime. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count. Fastball clips the bottom part of the zone, count even. Player Michael Sansone, 78 strikeouts and 68 1/3 innings of work at Fairfield in the spring. 4.48 ERA for the Stags. Played on the Bourne Braves a season ago and was an all-star. He's going up against his former team with 2 away, the 2-2. Popped up into foul grounds. Ranging left Alan Roden, it'll fall. And we'll do it again. The count stays 2-2. Michael Sansone was the first Stag ever to be named an All-Star in the Cape Cod Baseball League. It was unbelievable for the Bourne Braves a season ago, and it makes sense why Harvey Shapiro, who was the field manager for Bourne for the last 18 seasons in his first year with the Gatemen, would go to Sansone and say, hey, I want you in Wareham this year. 2-2 to the Oregon Duck, Brennan Malone. Fastball fouled back into the fencing.
Sansone doing what we've known him as, and a strike thrower. Haven't fell behind a batter yet.
18 strikeouts to 1 walk. 3 outings prior, and this his 4th start. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Sansone delivers the 2-out pitch. Fastball swing and a miss. Make it 19 strikeouts on the young season for Michael Sansone, and 2 swinging Ks initiated by the Fairfield University Stag on the mound. We'll head to the bottom of the first, and we'll see the Wareham Gateman offense for the first time today. This is Wareham Gateman Baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network. Each and every game here at Spillane Field is made possible by our sponsors. Let's take a moment to recognize Gateway Tavern, Coastal Orthodontics, Fairway Financial, Joanne Stevenson, Sullivan Wine and Spirits, Deb Levesque Massage Therapy, the Law Office of Mark Deshays, Office Technology Group, J&M Baseball Academy, South Coast Health, Minkle Boys Catering, 80 Makepeace, Reed Custom Soils, Soft as a Grape, Bay Motor Inn, Point Sign, Wareham, Sipicon and Dartmouth Week, Cranberry Self Storage, Village Signs, the Law Office of Lang, Exaferris and Bullard, Reedy, Kiernan and McNally LLP, Robertson's GMC, Effie's Homemade, Wareham Country Market, the Wareham House of Pizza, Robbery's Tree Service, Patty Wild, Onset Bay Association, Select PT, El Mariachi, Water Whiz, and Cool Cone. Thank you once again to our sponsors of your Wareham Gatemen. We're in the bottom of the first at Spillane Field alongside Alex Fuez. I'm Cameron Ezeir. We ventured into July, the Cape Cod Baseball League season. The Bourne Braves team that sits third in the West Division, the Wareham Gatemen at fourth. These two teams will play each other in each of the next 2 days, so today and tomorrow, before an off day kickstarts another week of Cape baseball. On the mound for the Bourne Braves is Cade Boxrucker out of Campbell. In his third start with the Braves this summer, he started last week against Hyannis, 3 innings of work, gave up an earned run, 2 hits, walked 4 and struck out only 2, and that was a underwhelming performance taking into account that a week prior against Harwich, 4 innings of work, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts to no walks. He deals to Jack Hausinger, ropes one to the right side for a base hit. Jack Hausinger out of Xavier gets Wareham on the board in the hit department for a Gateman team that took down the YD Red Sox yesterday 11-3 and mustered 11 hits.
Yeah, guy Hausinger already had a 4-game hit streak at one point this season. Trying to continue and create another one starting tonight.
Hausinger leading off for just the 8th time this summer. He's followed by Hogan Windish, Alan Roden. Then it's Max Anderson out of Nebraska, Carter Graham from Stanford, Ryan Campos out of Arizona State. Rounding out the order, Blake Wright, Kellum Clark, and Derek Fabian. Hogan Windish stands in after a 3-hit game yesterday. Breaking ball called a strike to Hogan Windish, who's hit safely in 16 of the 19 games he's played on the Cape. He started every single game, whether it be in left or center field, but he's been a mainstay. Been in the 2-hole and now all 20 to start the summer. The runner at first in Hausinger, who is swinging at the first pitch. Windish doesn't swing at either of the first 2 pitches, and he's a player with 23 hits on the summer that leads this Gateman team out of UNC Greensboro. Was the SoCon Player of the Year back in the spring.
Had a big hit yesterday. 2-run shot that ended the scoreless streak from Lions.
Breaking ball in the dirt. He had an unbelievable day. After striking out in the first inning, he went on to hit a 2-run homer to open up the scoring against YD. Followed it up the next inning with an RBI single. 2 innings later, another single. His third 3-hit day on the Cape. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Fastball, clocked to right center. It'll fall for a base hit. Hausinger round second, heading over to third. He almost loses his helmet. He's going to get sent home. Jack Hausinger on his horse, and the Wareham Gatemen lead 1-0 early. Hogan Windish an RBI double. And Wareham the early advantage.
Well, that's exactly it. Windish striking early, saw the pitch he was looking for from Boxrucker, got a fastball that he could really get a hold of, and drive in Hausinger all the way from first base. That's exactly how you want to start this game. And all the momentum carries over from last night here right now.
Wow. Hogan Windish just continues his great play. From start to, it's not even finished. We're only halfway through the season, but he's been consistently great for this team, which is a great sign. Alan Roden stands in out of Creighton. He's 5 for his last 16. For only 4 hits in his first week on the Cape. He was a late addition to the Wareham Gatemen. 1 for 4 in yesterday's win against YD.
Well, he's a credible threat. I mean, Harvey Shapiro has always batted him either in the 3 spot or 4 spot. He's a guy that you have to be careful on how you pitch to him. Can get a hold of anything, drive anything to any field.
Led Creighton in batting average in the spring at .387. Windish is at second. 1-0. Roden takes. It's a strike on the outside corner. A player in Alan Roden that you mentioned it. He's either been in the 3 or the 4 hole. This is 5th start in the 3 spot, and he started the 6 other in the 4 hole. The Wareham Gatemen rocking the special 4th of July weekend jerseys. 1-1. Another fastball that freezes Roden.
A fun fact about these jerseys, Cam, is that they were only supposed to be worn on Red Shirt Fridays, but the team loved it so much. They're a lighter feel, especially on a hot night like tonight. Temperature right around 83 degrees, so they opted to go with the lighter route.
Almost act as the City Connect jerseys as Major League Baseball does.
Sure.
1-2. Oh, it hits Alan Roden on the knee. He took that one like a champ, and Roden heads over to first. And the first 3 batters that Cade Boxrucker faces gives up a single to Jack Hausinger, an RBI double to Hogan Windish. Alan Roden takes a bruise over to first.
Yeah, backdoor slider broke a little too much there. Luckily, it was an off-speed pitch. Still hurts, but Gateman still going at the plate. It's a good sight to see.
Alex, they look good. Top half in the Cape in batting average. First pitch to Max Anderson. Slider popped up. Brito ranges to his left and foul ground. Camps under it, makes the catch. So there's one away, which will turn it over to Carter Graham, who's still looking for his first hit of the summer. This will be just his 4th Cape game after he was a late addition. This Wareham Gateman team was a part of a Stanford Cardinal group that made it all the way to the Super Regionals and had themselves quite a season. And a player in Carter Graham that backed it up with quite a season as well, led the Pac-12 with 22 home runs in the spring. A reminder, this guy's a rising junior, so he was a sophomore and led the entire conference.
Had a productive at-bat yesterday, a sac fly.
First pitch swinging, fouls it out of play. I think we were talking about the fact that against YD yesterday, in an 11-3 win for the Gatemen, 8 of 9 batters reached base. You're wondering, well, who's that 9th? It's Carter Graham. And you're right, the productivity was still there. He drove in a run.
Out of all the quabs, the quality ABs, every single one of the Gatemen starters had one. That's what you're looking for. Good team win.
Graham fights off a pitch high. Count 0-2. Boxrucker out of Campbell, a 4-0 record in the spring, but his ERA drifted above 7. He's known for throwing a fastball and slider combos. Fastball sits 92 to 96. His slider 82 to 86. He actually threw his first couple changeups of the season in his last start. 0-2. Breaking ball swing and a miss. First K for Cade Boxrucker. And he finds his rhythm. There's 2 away, but still 2 on in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that's a big strikeout. He got 2 outs. But don't sleep on Ryan Campos.
I think if you're sleeping on Ryan Campos, you're doing something wrong. A redshirt freshman that led the Arizona State Sun Devils in the spring with a .357 batting average. He's 5 hits in his last 6 games. He's fresh off a 2-hit game against the YD Red Sox yesterday, and it featured his second home run. Opening pitch, chopped to the left side, fair ball! Here comes Hogan Windish. He gets the wave home, and heading back to second, and standing is Alan Roden. 2-0 Gateman. Yeah, don't sleep on Ryan Campos. That's now 6 hits in his last 7 games, and the Arizona State Sun Devil puts the Gateman up 2.
Gateman take an early 2-0 lead, and a guy in Michael Sansone hasn't exactly got the run support I bet he's wanted, so maybe we'll see kind of what Jonathan Bren got yesterday, where he could really settle in. I know that's what he said to Claire Foley before the game. It was kind of nice that he can just go out there and just pitch.
Blake Wright takes a ball in the dirt, the second baseman out of Clemson. Jonathan Brand yesterday pitched 4 strong. He did give up 3 runs, all unearned. It was following an error in that 4th, and I bet it was nice for Jonathan Brand to enter the 4th with a 7-run cushion as the Gatemen took such an early lead.
First time this year we've seen Blake Wright sport the high socks.
Ooh, I like him. Maybe Blake trying to switch it up a bit, but maybe he doesn't have to because he has 5 hits in his last 4 games. Now heading out to the mound is Tomas Frick, the catcher, and he'll be met by Bourne's pitching coach. Cade Boxrucker has been bounced around so far here in the bottom of the 1st. Has surrendered 3 hits, 2 runs, also hit Alan Roden, which means there's a runner in scoring position with the Creighton Blue Jay at second. Not the start that Boxrucker would have wanted, and not the start for the Bourne Braves that they would have vied for, making the trip over to Wareham for a team that was on a 4-game winless streak, followed it up with 3 straight wins, and then a 6-4 loss to the worst team in the West Division in the Falmouth Commodores. And right now, you could say the second worst team in the West Division, and the Gatemen are piling it on in the 1st, even though the last couple days the Gatemen have looked much better than their record has showed. Fastball from Boxrucker, a good response, count 2-1. That's one thing that we've talked about a lot with this Wareham Gatemen team. Yesterday, they just showed the true potential of this group and the true high ceiling. A lot of the times we're seeing close to the floor. It's been only in a flurry of games and not consistency over the first 20. Blake Wright, slow chopper right side. Eblin over to first. Wareham strands 2 on, but what a first for the Gatemen. 3 hits, 2 runs, and we head to the top of the 2nd with the Gatemen garnering a 2-run cushion. Michael Sansone heads back on the mound, and he'll face the middle of the order in Jack Duffy, Chris Brito, and Evan Slight on the other side on the Wareham Broadcast Network. We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod, free of charge. On behalf of the 9 other teams, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2022 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Gibson Sotheby's, Curry College, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod, Badger Sport, Zephyr Hats, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Milton Cat, Mosquito Marys, Massachusetts State Lottery. We will be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors. We're in the top of the 2nd at Spillane Field. The Wareham Gatemen and the Bourne Braves, a pair of Western Division foes going at it for the 2nd time this season. First game resulted in a tie ball game, 2-2, back on June 13th. But we ventured into July, and now it's July 3rd with America's holiday celebrated tomorrow. It'll be at Doran Park for this Gateman team. But today, they're back home for the first time in a couple of days. And Michael Sansone on the bump with his family in the crowd. Pitched a great first, 1-2-3 with a pair of strikeouts. And now dealing with Jack Duffy, the lefty, Chris Brito, the righty, and Evan Slight, the lefty batter. It's the middle of the order for a Bourne Braves team that sits at 8-8-3. A lucky lefty matchup. Sansone, a strike on the outer half.
I wish we had the stats about just the first strike ratio that Sansone has dealt. It's probably at the 90% range.
Just seems so clinical on the first pitch. 0-1. Chopper right side, foul. To a player in Jack Duffy that's top 10 in the Cape in batting average. Well, he's heading to the University of Houston after playing a couple of years at Polk State. Rising junior. This is 20th game this season, a .311 batter, 19 hits, that leads the team. He's batting cleanup today. Sansone deals the 0-2. It's popped up out of play. Jack Duffy from Sarasota, Florida. It's interesting, he played at Polk State for a number of years in Winter Haven, Florida, 2 hours away from his hometown of Sarasota. So he went from a school in Polk State, that's about 100 miles away from his hometown, to the University of Houston, that's over 1,000 miles away. Also trekked up to the Cape this summer. 0-2. Another one spoiled back. 0-3 was Jack Duffy in the first meeting between these two teams. He did draw a walk. Suncoast Player of the Year at Polk State in the spring. He also led the state in batting average at .452, but he's behind the count, 0-2. Upstairs, count 1-2.
Good pitch, just didn't get the call.
But again, it's about picking those locations. Velocity on a fastball that will sit mid-80s, but might feel like it's a little faster because it's going to pinpoint every part of the plate. Be very wary of where Sansone throws it. 1-2, up the middle. Scooped up, Blake Wright looks off at second over to first, and there's one away. Blake Wright looks uber comfortable at second. We've seen him in the designated hitter spot. We've seen him at shortstop and second base, and it's interesting how Harvey Shapiro is juggling with the defensive lineup. Derek Fabian, who's only played third this season, is at shortstop. We've seen Brian Padilla in that spot, Jack Hausinger, as well as Blake Wright. And this is one of the first times we're seeing a shift for the Wareham Gatemen in the infield, a bit over to the left side. Opening pitch to the righty Brito, who fouls it back. He represents one of two Rutgers Scarlet Knights on this Bourne Braves team. Batting out of the 5-hole, and his teammate, collegiate teammate that is, Evan Slight, is in the on-deck circle. 4 of the first 5 batters have been righties. As Sansone gets set for the 0-1. Now the movement on that pitch. It's unbelievable from Michael Sansone, who has so much experience under his belt. No balls, 2 strikes, the count. Poke to the left side, scooped up Fabian, ranging over, throws it off a hop. Graham can't grab it. And that's a hit for Chris Brito, in the first one surrendered for Michael Sansone. Would have been a tough play anyway if Carter Graham kept his foot on the bag, and Derek Fabian did all he could. And that might have been one of the first times where you saw a shift that actually worked against the defense. It was hit up the middle, bit toward the left side of second base, and if Fabian was in his normal spot, I think that would have been an easy ground out. But now analytics starting to, pick their poison in the game of baseball, and that gives Bourne an opportunity with the runner at first and 1 away. Stepping in, Evan Slight out of Rutgers. Swings at the first pitch. Oh, What a nasty pitch from Michael Sansone out in front with Slight. In his 12th game on the summer, Evan Slight stands in. 0-1, skied to right. Roden back at the wall. He'll put his glove up, and that left the park. We've talked about the conditions here on Cape Cod, and that one just kept carrying. It looked like a fly ball off the bat, but Evan Slight will take it with his collegiate teammate in front, and it's a 2-2 ball game in the top of the second. Alex, I don't know if your eyes saw the same as mine. Once it hit off the bat, looked like a fly ball. The wind is blowing from infield to out, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, as soon as Slight made contact, I'm like, that didn't sound too good for Michael Sansone's case, and then the ball just kept carrying, and I saw Roden drifting back, and it looked like he might have been able to make the play, but it just went right over the top of the wall, and we got ourselves a new ball game here in the second.
The game all tied up between the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen after Wareham scratched across 2 in the bottom of the first.
That's a dangerous part of being just so good as a strike thrower is, well, you throw strikes, and sometimes you get hit.
1-0 to Tomas Frick, the catcher. It's a strike, count even. Frick out of the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, in his 4th game on the Cape. Out of Greenville, South Carolina, but it is a Tar Heel at the collegiate level. 1-1. Fastball popped up. That one won't leave the yard, but it will carry as Roden moves back, camps under it, makes the grab, 2 away. But again, even a pitch like that didn't look like it would test Alan Roden, and he still had to take a few crow hops behind. Which gives way to Dakota Harris, who was a teammate of Jack Duffy's at Polk State. He's making the move over to Tennessee. The center fielder, a switch hitter, batting right. Harris swinging away, fouls it back.
Sansone going fastball on the first pitch. Right ahead, 0-1.
Sansone the 0-1. Fastball on the second pitch as well, and it dots that outer half. Sansone ahead of the count, 0-2 to Dakota Harris, the rising junior heading to Tennessee in the fall. A 205 hitter on the Cape. It's 2 for his last 14. Bit of a hitting slump. Here's the 0-2. Oh, good movement and got Harris swinging. Well, Michael Sansone gets out of the inning, but not before the Bourne Braves tie it up on a 2-run shot for Evan Slight out to right field. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Wareham's offense back out on the mound. It's a 2-2 game at Spillane on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Mosquito bites and ticks. No, yikes! When the bugs get scary, just call Mosquito Mary's 866-ASK-MARY or visit us at mosquitomarys.com.
The Wareham-based 80 Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is the world's largest cranberry grower and the largest private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
We want our money to work as hard for us when we retire as we did working to accumulate it. My name is Steve Anzoni, and I am president of Fairway Financial Insurance Agency. Money is just a tool to help you to do what you ultimately want to do, which is to travel, spend time with your kids, grandkids, and do other stuff. And I want to be the guy that's going to help you navigate the course of life, to help you avoid those sand traps and get you onto the green and into the hole with greater financial confidence.
in the bottom of the second. It's a whole new ball game after Wareham led 2-0 after the first. With Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir. Cade Boxrucker out of Campbell back out on the mound, but now it's a tie ball game, and Boxrucker will face the 8, 9, and 1 in the order for the Gatemen, starting with Kellum Clark out of Mississippi State. Fastball misses high. Kellum Clark did not play in yesterday's game, an 11-3 win for the Gatemen over a team in the YD Red Sox that have the most points and the best record in the East Division. 1-0 misses outside, and Alex, that was a total team win for Wareham.
It was, and that was a win that they desperately needed on a 3-game losing streak. Back in the win column, though, and looking to continue it right here. Win streaks is with a third one, though, so.
2-0 hacked away, count 2-1. See, I'd consider a win streak to be 2 or more.
No, not unless, according to the movie Major League.
Well, hey, if that's our source, then yes, I'm wrong. 2-1. Fastball, clock to left. It's drifting foul and will fall in foul territory. Kellum Clark takes a long bend around first and halfway over to second. Will trot back to the home plate batter's box. Wareham has only won 7 games this summer compared to 11 losses and 1 tie, and wins are sparse at that. If you don't count 2 in a row as a win streak, then this team has never been on a win streak this season. Trying to change that with a win today and tomorrow. 2-2 in the dirt, count full. To Kellum Clark, who I mentioned did not play in yesterday's win. This is just the 3rd time this summer that he's batting out of the 8-hole. He's been hit by a pitch 4 times in his last 4 games. And he'll take a base on balls as well. Payoff. Swing and a miss. Boxrucker with strikeout number 2, 1 away in the bottom of the second. The player in Cade Boxrucker struck out 2 in now each of his 3 outings so far this summer. The only difference is he walked 4 in his last start. That resulted in a tie with Hyannis. Stepping in, Derek Fabian out of the 9-hole. Cuts on 1, misses as he fouls it back. Missed out in front. Derek Fabian out of Florida. He's 0 for 8 in his last 3. Did not get to play yesterday against Yarmouth Dennis. 0-1. Another fastball. Ground ball up the middle. Peck over to first in time to get Derek Fabian. There's 2 down.
Yeah, Peck bobbled it for a second, but good recovery. See, Fabian has some speed, but the throw still got him out at first.
We look at the standings in the West Division. The Bourne Braves with 19 points at 3rd in the West. Wareham 15 points 4th. Falmouth is the team that sits out of the playoff picture with 14 points. So Wareham is clinging on. Hausinger doesn't swing at the first pitch this time. He did so in the first, ended up with a single.
Just the 2nd time he's DH this season.
1 ball, no strikes the count. Oh, fastball got away from Boxrucker. Looking at where he lost his footing. That ball only bounced 2/3 of the way over to the plate and didn't even get across home plate, unless you count the spike. Hausinger, designated hitter out of Ezeir. 2-0. Fastball low at strike 1. Hausinger, a .255 hitter this summer. Watches a pitch miss outside, count 3-1. I think we've been really impressed with the leadership quality of Jack Hausinger. Doesn't matter where you put him, he's going to be that voice for this team. With 2 away, 3-1. Fastball fouled back right to us. Now the count's full. And we are always so thankful for this fencing in front of us, because that might have been the 3rd or 4th ball that would have directly hit me in the face, unless Alex was feeling like my savior.
I don't know.
So it was a fastball. Payoff pitch. Again, spoiled back. But I always wonder, right? You're in the broadcast booth. If you make an unbelievable play, you've seen it at the major league level because they have open booths in the front. Now, they're not right behind the plate. It's usually, pop-ups behind. Payoff. Hausinger pops it up, left side. Sean Peck moved back. It's John Peck, the shortstop, that makes the grab. After Wareham was able to scratch across 2 on 3 hits in the first, Kate Boxrucker responds with a 1-2-3 bottom of the second. We're through 2. Tie ball game between Bourne and Wareham. We'll be back for the top of the third on the Gateman Broadcast Network right after this. Mark DeShays has been practicing law in southeastern Massachusetts for over 30 years. His primary focus is on all aspects of real estate law, including residential and commercial real estate transactions, commercial leasing, land development, land use and zoning law, and land conservation matters. If you need representation, call now at 508-993-2300.
Gibson Sotheby's International Realty is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League, offering residential sales and vacation rentals across the Cape. We help you turn someday into right now. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
We're in the top of the third at beautiful sunny Spillane Field with Alex Fuez. I'm Cameron Ezeir. Michael Sansone on the bump for his third inning of work. And he's a part of a starting pitching staff that hasn't fared well so far this season. A 1-8 record. Yes, a sub-5 ERA that sits at 4.49 in 72 and 2/3 innings of work. But after Jonathan Brand twirled yesterday, giving up 3 unearned runs, Michael Sansone gives up a 2 spot in the second. But fortunately for the Skateman team, it's 2-2. So the offense allows Sansone to enter this third in a tie ball game. 9-hole hitter Bryce Eblin shows bunt, dribbler to the left side. Sansone lets it go. Max Anderson over to first. He got him! What a play, Max Anderson, and maybe even a better play from Michael Sansone to have the wherewithal not to pick up that ball. Anderson lasers it over to first. Great pick from Carter Graham, and there's 1 away.
If you're scoring at home, that's when you put a star above the 5. 5-3 put out. What a play by Anderson.
We've claimed that Max Anderson is one of, if not the best defensive third baseman, even though Harvey Shapiro will shift him around. He'll play first, sometimes he's at second. Top of the order for the Bourne Braves, a strike thrown to John Peck, who struck out in the first. But it's a nice sight to see when Max Anderson is at the hot corner.
And I know Michael Sansone loves it. To have this confidence in the defense behind him, it's what you need.
A 1 pitch. Peck cuts on and misses. Breaking ball in the dirt. John Peck out of Pepperdine. He's at the plate for the second time today. One of 3 strikeout victims to Michael Sansone. Oh, 2. So John Peck from Moore Park, California, goes to school 30 minutes away from his hometown. A .211 hitter on the summer. Did pick up a hit on an RBI triple in that tie against Wareham in the second game of the season. 1-2 delivery. Upstairs, count even, 2-2. John Peck, first team all WCC postseason nod. Played summer ball last year with the Ridgefield Raptors of the West Coast League. Guy that goes by the motto, never fear failure. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Swing and a miss. Michael Sansone, strikeout number 4. Oh, never fear failure. Well, failure delivered from Michael Sansone, and he's looking really, really good on the mound.
Yeah, it has been all season long, and with 4 Ks through 3 2/3, that's exactly what you're looking for by Harvey Shapiro. And that's why he brought him back, like he said.
Sansone, a Cape League All-Star a season ago for the Bourne Braves. Matt Shaw stands in out of Maryland. Takes the first pitch low. Michael Sansone, not the only returning Cape player and not the only Bourne Brave from a season ago to switch over to play for the Wareham Gatemen. 2 away in the top of the 3rd in a 2-2 ball game. 1-0. Strike bottom half of the zone. Max Anderson, and maybe that's the camaraderie on that bunt over to the left side from those 2 players. Max Anderson at 3rd played with Michael Sansone last year. Both going up against their former team. 1-1 pitch. Shaw fouls it away.
And it's great that both of the parents of Michael Sansone, Michael and Kathleen, in attendance tonight.
Supporting their son and his 4th start on the Cape. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Here's the pitch. Oh, just missed that outside corner of the plate. The count's even. Michael Sansone sitting on 4 strikeouts. He's retired 3 by way of the ground out. A fly out as well. Has given up 2 runs, but the game is tied up. Pitch to Shaw. Breaking ball, line to right and fair. It'll slice into foul territory after landing fair. Shaw races around first, stops at second. A double for Matt Shaw. He leads this team in batting average, and that's why. Barrel to the ball, and it lands. And that's a double for Shaw with 2 away in the top of the 3rd. Matt Shaw has now hit safely in 11 of the 13 games he's played. It gives way to Brennan Malone, who played for the Falmouth Commodores last year, then started this Cape season with the Brewster Whitecaps and is now on the Bourne Braves. Now, he is draft eligible. Many expect him to be heading to the draft, which is on the 17th of July. Malone struck out to end the 1st, swings away at the first pitch, out of play. Big spot for Michael Sansone.
Getting ahead, though. That's what's key.
We've seen him go 6 deep into a game last week in that game against Harwich.
72 pitches in that game.
Well, he's known for his longevity. He's a player at Fairfield who was their number 1.
Had 45 pitches right here.
0-1, poked on, lifted into foul ground. Graham giving chase, and he won't grab it. Fell right in front of his feet. And the count 0-2. I think Carter Graham would have had to maybe grow a couple more inches and then dove. And smart play to avoid any sort of injury. And Sansone ahead of the count 0-2 with 2 away and a runner at second and a chance to get out of this frame, and it would be the second scoreless frame he's thrown today. Brennan Malone out of Oregon, the 3-hole hitter. Oh-2 high, misses in the attic. Malone, in just his 3rd game with the Bourne Braves, he joined them at the beginning of July. Rising junior, 1 for 7 for the Bravos. Played a couple of years at South Carolina before heading to Oregon. 1-2. Dug on foul to the left side. Actually selected in the 28th round by the Dodgers in 2019, but chose the collegiate route. Michael Sansone gets ready to deliver the 1-2 pitch on a gorgeous day at Spillane Field. Wareham and Bourne taking on each other for the second time this season. Sansone, he checked on Matt Shaw at second. It was more of the jumping approach rather than throwing it that way, but either way, Matt Shaw gets his jersey dirty. Will retake his lead. 1-2. Popped up the foul territory behind the plate. Campos runs out of room, has leaped off his post behind the dish. Thought he might have had an opportunity if that one fell in fair territory, but went to the bleachers. What a good crowd here at Spillane Field.
You got fans in the bleachers tonight.
The bleachers in deep left. You got bleachers past the third base dugout and above the first base dugout, and it seems like there's scattered
You got bleachers at the field.
Right, exactly, but there's scattered amounts of people in all of the bleachers. 1-2. Popped up. Moving in Clark. Kellum makes the grab and retires the side. So Bourne strands one, fails to score in the top of the third, and we're through 2.5. It's a 2-2 ball game. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Wareham's offense due up here at Spillane Field. You're watching Wareham Gateman Baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Serving southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Office Technology Group has been the area's source for advanced digital multifunctional copiers since 2009. Call Office Technology Group at 508-858-5825.
Summer is here, and we are finally back to enjoying all our favorite outdoor activities. As temperatures rise, so does the risk for unexpected injuries. South Coast Health Urgent Care Centers are open, safe, and here to provide the care you need when you need it. Our 7 locations are open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Walk-ins are welcome, and having a South Coast Health physician is not required. Visit southcoast.org/urgent care to check wait times and reserve your spot today. To the bottom of the third we go at Spillane Field. 2-2 ball game between the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen. Alongside Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir. Wareham scratched across 2 in the bottom of the first after Michael Sansone went 1-2-3 in the top half of the inning, and then Bourne responded with 2 of their own in the top of the second, which led to a 1-2-3 inning issued by Cade Boxrucker. And he's on the mound for his third inning of action to face the heart of the order, starting with Hogan Windish, a breaking ball near the helmet of the UNC Greensboro product. And the count's 1-0, and is the part of the lineup the Gateman fans should be excited about. 2 through 6, and that 11-3 win over the YD Red Sox yesterday recorded 7 of the 11 hits. Windish 3 of them. 1-0. Hogan takes the ball in the dirt. RBI double in the first to get the scoring started. 24 hits on the summer. His third year of summer collegiate ball after playing the last 2 in the Coastal Plains League. Pitch misses low, Windish ahead of the count. Hogan Windish's hit streak is up to 5. 3-0 pitch. He'll take a 4-pitch walk. Heads over to first, and the second time he's been on base today.
Yeah, Windish more of a contact hitter. That's just his 4th walk on this season.
It'll give way to the all-dangerous Alan Roden. Whole lot of potential in the swing of Roden. 1 for 3 yesterday. He had 25 doubles in the spring. Started all 49 games for the Blue Jays. Takes the first pitch. Off speed, outer half, count 0-1. Native of Middleton, Wisconsin. He only struck out 8 times in 194 at-bats in the spring. He has the patience, he has the swing, he has the pop. See if he can apply it here. 0-1. Ball 2. Ball 1. Count even.
I wonder what his favorite cheese is.
I couldn't tell you.
Coming from Wisconsin.
Oh. That's a question for maybe tomorrow. 1-1.
Well, Wisconsin famous for their cheese.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Now, I said it's a question for tomorrow because you can ask him then when this team plays Bourne at Doran Park.
Yeah, we can't ask him now.
No. Yeah, there's always a possibility if you want to run down to the field in between frames. You could bring him his favorite cheese tomorrow, a little 4th of July celebration. 2-1, ground ball up the middle. Stepping on second, over to first for a double play. It's John Peck over to Chris Brito, and there's 2 away. Now, complete vacancy on the base paths. Alan Roden, okay contact, but would ground it over to the left side. And there's 2 away in the bottom of the 3rd. 6-4-3 double play brings up Max Anderson in the 4-hole. For his last 9 games, he's batting .361. Takes the first pitch. And Boxrucker missed inside.
A guy that struggled in the first part of this season, but as you can say, he's completely turned that around.
Line to the right side. It's caught on the fly. Eblin was there to make the grab. So a quick bottom of the 3rd inning for Cade Boxrucker, and he's responded really well. Boxrucker has faced the minimum after giving up 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st. So through 3, it's 2-2 between Bourne and Wareham. This was the same score at the end of the game the first time these 2 teams faced off. But a whole lot of game to go, and we'll see if Bourne can tack on some more or if Michael Sansone can do his due diligence on the mound. On the other side, you're on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Reed Custom Soils is New England's leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installations and is the exclusive New England supplier of stabilized stone dust. Reed Custom Soils services over 300 golf courses and provides unique blends to fit your needs, all by experienced precision blenders. To learn more about how Reed Custom Soils can serve you, call toll-free 1-800-924-5335 or head to reedcustomsoils.com.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod. So even when you're cheering on your Gateman at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. No trip to the Cape is complete without a trip to Soft as a Grape.
Through 3, we got a tight one at Spillane, 2-2 between the Braves and the Gatemen. With Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir. Michael Sansone, who pitched 6 innings a week ago in a loss to Harwich, front end of a doubleheader, is back out for his 4th inning of work, and we expect him to continue if he's able to continue his great play. Already given up 2 runs, but it is a tie ball game. We're in the top of the 4th. Talked a little bit about Michael Sansone pitching for the Bourne Braves a season ago, and he was phenomenal. 8 games, 5 starts, 31 innings of work, 27 strikeouts to just 3 walks. He pitched against Wareham a couple times as well. A 5-inning twirler in a scoreless game. And then last July, 3 innings of work against the Gatemen, 4 earned runs. And now he's facing his former team, kicking it off with Jack Duffy, middle of the order. Fastball clips the outer half. A player in Michael Sansone that was a MAC All-Rookie Team member. His junior year All-MAC first team. His senior year, 78 strikeouts to just 12 walks. Sub-5 ERA as well. 0-1. Duffy connects, fouls it back. And Alex, I think the most impressive part about Michael Sansone's time at Fairfield, in his last 5 games, 33 innings of work, 43 strikeouts to just 7 walks, and he averaged 100 pitches per game.
Effective. I mean, we've seen it all summer.
Well, he's ahead of the count, 0-2 to Jack Duffy. The pitch. Fastball, slow liner to the left side, scooped up barehanded by Fabian over to first, but not in time to get Jack Duffy. Would have been a tough play. It was almost corked off the bat, almost like a wrister. Took a couple small little low velocity hops to the left side, and Fabian barehanded it, and right when he did, Duffy was already stepping on first. First base hit for Jack Duffy. Hands it off to Chris Brito. Infield single back in the second, in which Bourne tied it up to make it 2-2. Duffy at first. Off speed low. Fairfield pitching to Rutgers. Michael Sansone a season ago when he pitched on the Cape said his biggest takeaway was his approach of the hitters. He was surprised on how many of the off speeds were chased at rather than the batters who hunted more for the fastball and laid off on the off speed pitches back at school at Fairfield. And that's one part of Cape League baseball that might not translate back to the collegiate level, because a lot of these guys are the best of the best at their respective schools, and they're just trying to hit. It's over the zone. They're going for it. They're not just always hunting dead red fastball. 1-0. Well, that's a dead red fastball down the pipe. Count even 1-1. One ball, one strike, the count. The runner at first. Hard hit ball to left. Range into his right. Clark makes the grab. Throw it back into the infield. Racing back to first is Duffy. Good contact from Chris Brito. But Kellum Clark, a good jump on it in left, and there's one away. Brings up Evan Slate out of Rutgers, the left fielder. Did not play last time these two teams faced off. Lefty delivery over the heart of the plate. Count 0-1 to Evan Slate out of Framingham, Massachusetts, 1 hour away from Wareham, a bit closer to Boston. Previously played at Virginia and transferred over to Rutgers following that 2020 season. Was injured for the Cavaliers, and that mixed with the COVID season, you just thought it was time for a change. Went over to Rutgers. Actually, a relationship with a Rutgers volunteer assistant, Brandon Cogswell, who was previously a student assistant coach at UVA, so switched over with Cogswell. Is now a Scarlet Knight. Sansone checks on Duffy at first.
Almost got him there.
It's interesting because it's not like Sansone applied any speed on that throw. But still, with the leadoff, plenty from Jack Duffy, Sansone had a chance. 1 away and 1 on. 1-1. Fastball, hard hit, up the middle, right bobbles, picks it up, flips over to second. He got him. That's best case scenario for his Wareham team after Blake Wright couldn't corral it off a few hops, but flips it over to Derek Fabian, and there's 2 away.
We've seen it today. It's tough to make the really tough hop plays on this infield dirt. It's a stone dust infield, the only one in the Cape, and you've seen it. When a ball is just hit so hard, it bounces like it is on concrete.
It's usually when or where the infield grass merges with the stone dust. First pitch is low to Tomas Frick, but called a strike, flirted with the bottom of the zone for a player in Frick out of North Carolina. One of the odd parts of Spillane Field, the stone dust infield. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Count 0-2. I think that's the one thing that many leave Spillane thinking is, I don't think I've ever seen a stone dust infield before. But all these collegiate players heading to the Cape, and they get to experience something new, and I think that's the beauty of the Cape. You experience new things that aren't just, coach flights and pretty buses. 0-2 pitch, misses high. We've talked a lot about it off air where, playing at high school fields, playing in front of fans that aren't paying to see their games. And it's just old school backyard baseball, but with the best talent in the collegiate game.
Close to 30% of the major leagues right now, all of those played here on Cape Cod.
Wow. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. High, deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 4th in a 2-2 ball game. And deuces extra wild in this pitch. Slight is at first after a fielder's choice ground out. The 2-2 to Tomas Frick out of North Carolina. Runner goes, clamor to deep left field. Clark ranges back at the wall, and it's a foul ball. Oh, it had a chance, but it drifted foul. And Kellum Clark was watching that one all the way, wouldn't have had a chance to grab it. And we'll do it again. So a hard hit foul ball, and the count stays 2-2.
That foul ball landed in the parking lot.
I was trying to see it from this vantage point. It's tough to see the left field line. It looked like it was drifting foul, but didn't want to speculate, of course. And luckily for Michael Sansone, still a tie ball game. 2-2. Check swing. He did not go, says first base umpire David Perry. Ryan Campos, the quick check. I'm pretty sure the Arizona State Sun Devil thought that Tomas Frick went.
Yeah, I thought he went too, but the first base umpire, a good job by Campos to quickly go to him, not wait for the home plate umpire.
So Slight will be off. The count 3-2 and 2 away in the top of the 4th. Sansone a chance to get out of a possible jam. The pitch. Oh, he got him swinging. Michael Sansone, his 5th strikeout of the night. And it's still 2-2 as we head into the bottom of the 4th here on the Gateman Broadcast Network. Want your daily dose of news? Lucky for you, Wareham, Sipicon, and now Dartmouth Week has you covered. Whether you live in Wareham or in the surrounding areas, you can count on up-to-date news on sports, schools, and even the fine arts, courtesy of the partnership between Wareham, Sipicon, and Dartmouth Week. Head to theweektoday.com and search Wareham, Sipicon, or Dartmouth for more.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It only takes 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to find out more.
To the bottom of the fourth we go. 2-2 between Bourne and Wareham. With Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir at Spillane Field. This is game 20 of 44 in the Cape Cod Baseball League season. It'll be a jam-packed July. This is game 6 of 7 straight games played by both these teams, an off day on July 5th. And later in the month, Wareham will host the All-Star game. They'll also play these Bourne Braves at Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox.
Coming up quick.
Yep. As Carter Graham takes the first pitch on the outer half. That's strike 1. Graham is 0 for 12 on the season. Still looking for that first hit. 0-1 breaker from Cade Boxrucker, who's responded really well after giving up 2 runs on 3 hits in the bottom of the first. He's faced the minimums of 6 through the last 2 frames. 1-1 inside on Graham. Count 2-1. It's a good sign to see Carter Graham in a Wareham Gateman uniform after Stanford made it all the way to the Super Regionals. He's also called to Team USA. We were wondering, hey, is Graham going to get here? And, well, he showed up. 2-1 over the head of Carter Graham. Got away from Boxrucker. It's a good thing that Graham dodged out of the way.
Yeah. Boxrucker made sure he grabbed some dirt to get a better feel of the baseball. There is no rosin back. I have not seen a Cape player use rosin all season long. They're just kind of doing whatever it takes to just get some dirt to just get a good feel on the ball.
Oh, and that hits Graham. So the dirt didn't even help Boxrucker as Carter Graham throws his bat ferociously and heads over to first. So Carter's on base now for the second time this season after drawing a walk in his season debut against Catuit earlier in the week. After a ball missed above the head of Carter Graham, Boxrucker tried to readjust his grip and threw that one into the body of Carter.
Yeah, second hit by a pitch thrown from Boxrucker today. Hit Alan Roden back in the first. And we'll see what Campos can do here. Singled in the first, and that is the reason how the Gatemen scored their first 2 runs.
Ryan Campos with an RBI single, like you mentioned, and although Carter Graham might have to, brush off a little bit of pain off that fastball thrown from Boxrucker, that's now 3 out of the first 4 offensive frames for the Gatemen that they've had the leadoff base runner on. First pitch to Campos in the dirt. Frick scoops it up. Doesn't allow Carter Graham to race over to second. The Wareham Gatemen still last on the Cape in stolen bags. Still with only a single-digit number, which is the only team on the Cape to garner that. Every other team has 10 or more. Campos, the lefty, was 2 for 5 yesterday. Graham slides back into first. It's interesting, Ryan Campos, he's been so good this season. Against left-handed pitching, he hasn't been. Righties, a .263 average with 10 of his 12 hits and make it 11 of his 13 after a single today. 1-0. Fastball. That's strike 1. It's a mainstay out of high school, number 11 player, number 2 catcher in the state of Arizona, ranked by Perfect Game. He proved it at the collegiate level after redshirting his first season. Faces a 1-1 count. Another heater in the dirt. It's a player in Boxrucker. It's only gone 4 deep. It's the farthest he's gone this summer. He did so on June 17th against Harwich. Against Hyannis, only pitched 3. The Campbell Camel. Love that mascot. Graham's at first with no outs in the bottom of the 4th in a 2-2 game. 2-1. Big hack and a miss. Count even. Campos will take his time. Didn't like his swing on that pitch.
I think we need more camel mascots across the college landscape. Too many bulldogs.
I feel like you could count maybe 15 to 20 bulldogs, and those are just out of the Power 5 schools. Maybe even Wildcats as well. Wildcats, Arizona, Kentucky. Throw out so many schools. I agree. Let's make them more obscure. 2-2 in the dirt. I like Sun Devils as well. I mean, the Stanford Cardinal is an interesting one. Have you ever seen the Stanford Cardinal mascot?
Nah, not off the top of my head.
It's a tree. It almost looks like it has ornaments on it, but it's pretty much just paper mache, obviously, because you can't hang ornaments on a costume. You could, but it probably would be a bit painful and a bit heavy to wear. Counts 3-2. Leadoff base runner on is Carter Graham after a hit by pitch. Ryan Campos already 1 for 1 today. Payoff. Loop to left, out of play. Campos has only walked 4 times this season. But he adjusts his batting gloves and is a pitch away of making that 5. Three balls, 2 strikes the count. Fastball called, strike 3 down the pipe. Ryan Campos goes down looking, 1 away in the 4th.
Man, that was a pitch that I would agree taking on that one. Campos thought it was ball 4. I did too. That's a close one.
Yeah, well, either way, Blake Wright steps up. Might have been a bit low out of the strike zone. Could have been a bit inside as well as it crossed the plane of the plate. But Bob Bland behind the plate says it's a strikeout. Now we move over to Blake Wright. Takes the ball upstairs. Wright grounded out to end the 1st. That was a dribbler over to the second baseman, Eblin. Blake Wright out of Clemson. He's facing a righty. 1-0 inside. And you get a bit frightened up here after seeing Alan Roden get hit by a pitch inside, and then the same with Carter Graham. And one on Graham, yeah, it felt like it hurt. Maybe it sounded like it. I almost was living vicariously through Carter Graham as the ball hit him. That contact was so loud. Pitch misses inside, and good thing Blake Wright's able to get out of the way. Takes that pitch for a strike. And a player in Blake Wright out of Clemson who turned a 167 batting average season into the next year, which was this past spring, 349, was 3rd on the Clemson Tigers. Granted, it's a Clemson Tiger team that had the ACC Player of the Year in Max Wagner, and he led the team in batting average. 2-1. Another fastball low. And Alex, I know you've been really high on Blake Wright and his ability to adjust his mentality, and even after a bit of a hitting slump, he's came out onto the scene over the past week or so.
Well, Mike Trout at one point this season went 0 for 21, so even the best go through it. And we're seeing Blake Wright get back into his swing and get back into the form that Harvard Shapiro knows him as.
He'll draw a walk. One thing that Blake Wright does so well is if his bat is not there, he stays patient at the plate. Doesn't really attack too much out of the zone, and maybe that's his mentality shift over the last week or so as he draws a walk. And Blake Wright's at first, Carter Graham at second. Looks like it'll be the day for Cade Boxrucker. The Bourne Braves will make a change, and we'll tell you who the new pitcher is for the Bravos after the break. We're in the bottom of the 4th in a 2-2 ball game at Spillane Field. 2 on for the Gatemen. We'll be back for more Wareham Gatemen baseball on the Gatemen Broadcast Network. If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP, have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights. Be prepared and contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham and 2318 Acushnet Avenue in New Bedford. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com. Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Cape Destinations, Sullivan Tire, Highline Cruises, Barnstable Bats, Sunderland Printing, Axis Bats, Cape Space, Christmas Tree Shops, UFOs, T-Mobile, Boston Better Business Bureau, Fairway Financial, Rogers Gray, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Gateman Baseball is officially sponsored by Robertson's GMC.
In the bottom of the fourth at Spillane Field, 2 on for the Gatemen, Kellum Clark at the plate, and the new pitcher on for the Bourne Braves, relieving Cade Boxrucker, is Ryan Fisher. The New Jersey Institute of Technology has a 1-1 record with a 2.31 ERA. And this, his third outing, make it his fourth after 2 starts earlier on in the year. And he's dealing to Kellum Clark, the lefty, who struck out swinging in the second.
Well, Boxrucker still responsible for the base runners on first and second. So far, 3 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts after he faced 16 Gatemen.
Breaking ball lined up the middle and through for a base hit. Carter Graham over to third. He had to stop near second just for a split second because it was a soft liner up the middle. It looked like John Peck might have had a chance at it, but it escaped his outstretched glove, so Carter Graham heads over to third. A heads-up play from the Stamford Cardinal. Now the base is loaded with 1 away in the bottom of the fourth.
Now Fabian's #1 role here is just get it out of the infield. Anything out of the infield will score a run and give back the Gatemen a lead.
And might put his 0 for his last 9 at the plate in the rearview mirror. Fouls it back. Derek Fabian out of Florida. He didn't pick up a hit in his first 2 games on the Cape and then fired on all cylinders in his next 2 with 3 combined hits. Over the last 3, he struggled a bit, but hasn't drawn that many starts. And when he has, it's been so good on the defensive side at third. It's now shifted over to short. 0-1, big hack and a miss. Behind the count, 0-2.
You can feel the humidity. It's a hot one tonight.
Even with shadows covering a majority of the infield. The weather's up there. It's great for a 4th of July weekend. Derek Fabian, younger brother of current Gators outfielder Judd Fabian, who is the youngest ever selection the Cape Cod League All-Star team. He played for the Bourne Braves in 2019, so he has a bit of a budding rivalry with the Bourne Braves, courtesy of his brother. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The base is loaded. Fabian strikes out swinging. Ryan Fisher does his job after giving up a single, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the fourth. And now the blueprint is pretty simple for Jack Hausinger. Find a way to not leave 3 on base. Jack Hausinger, a single in the first. He popped up to the shortstop Peck in the second. Big spot in a 2-2 game. Swinging at the first pitch. Whiffing is Hausinger. Counts 0-1.
The Gatemen have struggled, though, with runners in scoring position with 2 outs, hitting 147. They're 9 for 61. But with the bases loaded, 3 for 20, or 3 and 20.
0-1 high.
8 and 25, a home run, and the 960 OPS.
A reminder, when the bases were loaded against the Harwich Mariners last week, Ryan Campos, a lefty, hit a grand slam, the first granny of the season for the Gatemen. And now another lefty is up, but the bases juiced. 1-1. Called strike, much to the chagrin of Hausinger, who can't believe that call. The Musketeer is now behind the count, 1-2. Ryan Fisher, a rising senior from NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology. First one out of the pen. He's in a jam. 1-2. Hausinger loops it foul. We'll do it again. So at third is Carter Graham after he was hit by a pitch. Campos struck out. Blake Wright walked for a team-leading 13th time this season. Single from Kellum Clark, strikeout from Derek Fabian. That's where we lie. But the bases loaded 2 away in a tie ball game in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks issued from Ryan Fisher. He does his job out of the pen, and the Bourne Braves escape a jam. The Wareham Gatemen strand 3 on the base paths, and through 4, it's 2-2 between the Braves and the Gatemen. We head to the top of the 5th. We'll see if Michael Sansone is back on the bump on the other side on the Gatemen Broadcast Network.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Need physical therapy? Select Physical Therapy works directly with you and your physician to create a plan of care that meets your goals and needs, with 6 locations on Cape Cod and more across the country. Select Physical Therapy is the official provider of athletic training for the Wareham Gatemen.
We're in the top of the 5th, and the bearded wonder Michael Sansone is back out on the bump alongside Alex Fuez, who, well, we got to give you a cool nickname at the end of this as well. I'm Cameron Ezeir. I don't think I have cool nicknames, but I don't know if you like that one from Michael Sansone. Either way, if that is his glorified nickname, well, he's following it up with a great performance. Through 4 innings of work, he's only surrendered 4 hits, 2 runs. Both were in the second off a 2-run home run that just carried in the airstream. 5 strikeouts for Michael Sansone. He deals to the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, starting with Dakota Harris.
Who gave him that one?
Me.
Oh.
Got on and missed to Dakota Harris. I don't know. I feel like I've heard that 1 or 2 times. He's got the beard.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go ask him after the game and confirm with him, okay, do you mind that nickname? Maybe I'll just call him by that nickname, and if he responds, well, there you go. Sansone, the 0-1. Another strike to Dakota Harris out of Polk State. Will be taking his talents to Tennessee to play for a Volunteers team that was number 1 for the majority of the college season. Were bounced in the regionals by Notre Dame, but they just keep adding pieces. Sansone, no balls, 2 strikes the count. Do you have a good nickname that I can call you by, or do I just keep have to say, with Alex Fuez? Anything?
You can call me Fuez.
Okay. I don't want to bypass your first name. That's what separates you from the rest of your family. Now we'll get to that later. No outs in the top of the 5th. 0-2. Fouled away. Hearing the sounds of a train in the background, and other than that, it's a peaceful day at Spillane Field. Beautiful day for baseball, day before 4th of July, so before celebrating American holiday, you're celebrating quite the day here today. Swung on to the left side. Anderson over to first. 1 away. There's 1 down in the top of the 5th. Maybe I'm just used to trains back home, but now I'm told it's a boat. Well, we are close to the water. That makes more sense. You never know. There could still be trains. I know we were crossing the bridge heading to one of the games earlier in the season, and there were train tracks down near the water. So you never know. I'll hedge my bets and put it all on train. You can go boat, and we'll see at the conclusion of this game. We'll check with maybe more of a Wareham aficionado in terms of the area. It's the first pitch in there for a strike as Bryce Eblin offers. Eblin out of Alabama. No hits in a week, so Eblin's on a bit of a hitting slump. Grounder back in the 3rd. (0-1), driven high and deep, but way out of play into the surrounding trees. I always find it interesting, the different scenery of the different parks around the Cape. In the outfield here, of course, you got the lights, you have the bleachers in deep left, and they're huge. I mean, you could fit a good amount of fans. That's why I'm really excited for the All-Star game, because the bleachers in deep left, those are going to be packed. Sansone ahead of the count. Breaking ball misses in the dirt.
Well, obviously, Spillane, the only field in the Cape that shares it with other sports. This also transforms into a football field, which obviously big football stands, that's what you need. Another press box right above left center field wall.
Imagine calling a baseball game from there. That'd be a tough view. Well, let's just be thankful that we're behind home plate.
Everything's backwards.
Right.
Fine.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count with 1 away. Top of the 5th, tie ball game. Sansone deals to Eblin. Bouncer in the dirt.
Just think you're on top of the Green Monster.
Trying to call a game from there might be one of the toughest things to do in terms of sports broadcasting.
Sunday Night Baseball did it for ESPN.
Ugh. I say I could never, but if that offer came calling, I don't think I'd refuse. Let me rephrase that. I know I wouldn't refuse. 2-2. Sansone in his 5th inning of work. Here's the pitch. There's strikeout number 6. Michael Sansone dealing through 4 2/3. I feel like you could easily say the opening day outing for Michael Sansone was his best. Struck out 6, scoreless baseball, only a pair of hits. But the way that Sansone's been able to recover after giving up that 2-run shot is so uncanny. It speaks to his veteran mentality and just the poise that he plays with. He deals to John Peck at the top of the order. Big hack and a miss. Peck represents 2 of the 6 strikeouts for Sansone.
He's the guy you put out on the mound to just get out of big spots, and he's done it so far today.
Has the chance to go 1-2-3 in the 5th. Keep this a tie ball game. 0-1. Big hack. Michael Sansone. He takes some velocity off, but like I mentioned earlier in the game, it might feel like it is in the 90s just because of the movement on the pitches. And when you come to the Cape, you're expecting low to mid 90s. Sansone, well, he mixes it up. 2 away. Here's the 0-2. Just outside. John Peck, one of 5 players on this Bourne team. Over 10 hits on the season. It's a dangerous top of the order for the Bravos. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count with 2 away. Sansone, the pitch. Fouled back out of play. This is just the 2nd time this season that Sansone has ventured past the 4th. He did so in 6 innings a week ago. It was against the Harwich Mariners. 5 strikeouts in that one. has 6 so far through 4 2/3. In a tie ball game. Big spot. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Here's Sansone. Just fouled back. Here's Sansone in this situation, Alex. Or maybe Fuez. What do you throw?
I would go with a changeup here.
Ooh, switching it up. We'll see if Alex has his crystal ball here in the 5th. 1-2. Oh, it did go off speed and missed low and outside. Again, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in a 2-2 ball game. Deuce is extra wild at Spillane. Sansone against Peck. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Give Michael Sansone 7 strikeouts, and that's a season high. 1, 2, 3, and we head to the top of the 5th. Or pardon me, the bottom of the 5th. While Michael Sansone is dealing through 5 in a 2-2 ball game. We'll be back for more Wareham Gateman baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
One of the Gateman's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
We're in the bottom of the 5th. Michael Sansone, 7 strikeouts on the day. And with that, we send it down to the field to the 3rd member of our team, Claire Foley, with more. Claire?
Thanks, guys. Michael Sansone was so solid through 5 innings today. 7 strikeouts to improve his statistics to 24-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Before today's game, I was talking to Jonathan Brand about this exact statistic and its importance to starters. And he said having an overwhelmingly positive strikeout to walk ratio means you're in control, you're showing batters less pitches, and typically you can stretch farther into games, which helps the bullpen too. Guys.
Thanks so much, Claire. Michael Sansone is dealing, and he's proven that he's not just a strike thrower, but he's also against, throwing a lot out of the zone, which is so positive. And even when he's testing hitters, he'll test him on the corners of the strike zone, which is, crazy to see. Hogan Windish stands in. It's the teeth of the order for the Gatemen in Windish, Roden, and Anderson.
It's a new single game high, 7 strikeouts by Sansone. The only one with more is Eric Swan. He had 8.
0-1. Ground ball, chopped to 3rd. Shaw over to 1st, and he got him.
What a play.
Ooh. So he did Matt Shaw, to go off his back foot instead of charge forward for it, and then had to throw with his feet flat, which is so hard to do. Usually your feet aren't planted on a throw. You're going to allow forward motion into the throw, but you're right, Matt Shaw is one of the most experienced players on this team. Threw it over to 1st, 1 away. Brings up Alan Roden, the lefty. Big swing. Ryan Fisher on the mound after relieving Cade Boxrucker and getting out of a jam in the 4th. Bases loaded, and he struck out the last 2 batters he faced. Fisher out of the New Jersey Institute of Technology is up against Alan Roden. Breaking ball misses. A player in Alan Roden who was hit by a pitch in the 1st, grounded out into a double play in the 3rd. He's currently riding a 4-game hit streak.
Trying to keep it going right here.
1-1 hits Alan Roden for the 2nd time today. The 3rd hit batsman for for this Bourne Braves pitching staff, and Ryan Fisher misses inside, and now Alan Roden heads over with 2 bruises instead of 1. Well, you got to watch out on inside pitches if you're the gateman. They'll take the free base, though. Brings up Max Anderson, 0 for 2 on the day, is yet to leave the infield.
Just a 4th time this season batting in the cleanup spot.
Check swing. Well, it was a strike anyway. The count 0-1. Talked about it earlier. Max Anderson struggled the opening portion of the season, was 0 for his first 10. He's been great as a breaking ball is called strike 2 on the outer half. In his last 9 games, .361 average. At one point, Max Anderson, during a stretch, was batting over .400. And that was an 8-game stretch. He had a hit yesterday, brought in a couple runs. 0-2. Fastball poked to right and foul. I know you've been very high on Max Anderson. Why is that?
No, you just look at how he can hit. You know, even in an 0-2 count, he's still a pure hitter. Will just choke up a little bit on the bat and just try to stay alive and put the ball in play and continue to put the pressure on a team that definitely needs a little more pressure.
0-2. Anderson lifts it to right. Duffy makes the catch. 2 away. Max Anderson has failed to notch a hit today. There's a pop out, a fly out, and a liner as well. And now there's 2 away in the bottom of the 5th in a 2-2 game. It's been this same exact score ever since the break between the top half and the bottom half of the 2nd. Wareham scored 2 in the bottom of the 1st. Bourne responded with a pair in the top of the 2nd. Brings up Carter Graham. Check swing. David Perry over at first says he did not go. And Carter Graham still looking for that first hit. And I'll keep mentioning it because this is a sophomore that batted .331 for Stanford in the spring. Led the conference in home runs. A handful of RBIs as well. 1-0. Popped up, out of play. Souvenir for a fan.
Yeah, and this is a guy that once Carter Graham gets going, it's going to be hard to stop him. Has pure power in his swing. Showcases it during BP every single day.
Not just BP, he hit safely in all but 12 of his 64 games played in the spring. Just hits. 1-1, runner goes, lined up the middle. First base hit of the summer for Carter Graham. Rounding second, heading to third, Alan Roden. Runners at the corners for the Gatemen with 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. Wareham is in business for the first time since those bases were loaded in the last offensive frame, and maybe a clear threat for the first time since the 1st.
You can see just the big sigh of relief by Carter Graham, and okay, that's off my back now. Now I can go back and hit. There's a guy that drove in a couple of runs back in the 1st.
Ryan Campos with an RBI back in the 1st off a single. He's batting out of the 6 hole. Only the 4th time this season. A lot of the times we've seen him either in the 9 hole or in the leadoff spot. It's interesting how Harvey Shapiro, his first year as the field manager of the Wareham Gatemen, will orchestrate this lineup. Sometimes he'll play 2 catchers with Peter Burns and Ryan Campos. This time puts Campos near the bottom of the order, swings away at the first pitch, lifts it to left. Slight ranges right, makes the grab. Wareham strands 2 on. After Carter Graham picked up his first base hit of the summer, he is stranded. So is Alan Roden. And through 5, it's 2-2 as we head to the top of the 6th. In a tie ball game between the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen on the Gatemen Broadcast Network.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. After the game, visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails.
Looking for a turnkey rental experience on the Cape? Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has a dedicated team of rental professionals ready to provide homeowners and guests with exceptional service. For Cape Cod rentals, nothing compares. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in environmental science, sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science. Online at curry.edu.
Catchers aren't the only ones protecting home. With Rogers Gray, you have more coastal homeowners insurance options and a true expertise in their people. Protect your home with Rogers Gray. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
In the top of the sixth, it's Spillane Fields, and there's a new pitcher on the mound, which spells the end of the day for Michael Sansone. After 5 brilliant innings of work, he struck out 7. It's a season high, and earlier on in the game, we had our own Claire Foley down near the dugout to talk about Michael Sansone, her conversation with Jonathan Brand, who started yesterday, and we're fortunate enough to have her now up in the broadcast booth. Claire, how's it going?
Happy to be here, Cam. This isn't a spot I'm typically comfortable in, but gotta force yourself into the uncomfortable sometimes. So I'm happy to be here.
I love it. Let's make you comfortable. Will Koger's on the mound. 2 appearances so far in the summer, 6 2/3 innings of work. He's given up only 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts to 3 walks. So Will Koger out of Louisville. He's one of 2 Louisville Cardinals that showed up a bit late to this Wareham Gateman season, as he deals a pitch for a strike on the outside corner to Matt Shaw. But let's focus a little more on Michael Sansone. It's a guy that pitched on opening day, and I argued to Alex that I would consider this his best outing, as here's the 0-1 pitch, mainly because he got the 7 strikeouts and recovered so well. I know you had a conversation with his pitching counterpart in Jonathan Brand. You know, what did you talk with him about, and you know, what did you see from Sansone that you liked? That 0-2 misses outside.
Waiting on that pitch for you. Yeah, Jonathan and Michael have sort of been at the top of this rotation for the Gatemen, and they really have been solid through their 4 appearances, 5 today and yesterday for them.
Ground ball to second, right over to first, and there's 1 away.
And it's so important as a starter to, like you said, face a little bit of that adversity, but be able to recover for it. And in the case of Sansone today, he made it look easy. He had 7 strikeouts, a season high for him. The only one who had more than that was Eric Swan with 8, but absolutely incredible to sort of pick up where Brand left off yesterday.
Will Koger deals to Brennan Malone, the former Brewster Whitecap, earlier on in the season. Fastball outside. And one of the intricacies about Michael Sansone here at Wareham is he pitched in a 9-inning game and then followed it up by pitching in a pair of doubleheader games. And those only go 7. I know you talked a little bit with Jonathan Brand about that, because him and Michael Sansone are the only 2 starting pitchers that had to deal with that.
Yeah, that's right. And I asked him if his approach going into the game is any different at 7 innings compared to 9. And he said, not really, but with a 7-inning game, it is certainly on his mind that he can help lessen the blow on the bullpen in the back half of the innings.
To strike on the outside, the count's 1-2 with 1 away in the top of the 6th, and a 2-2 ball game. Again, our sideline reporter Claire Foley up in the broadcast booth always does a great job on the field, and now spitting some knowledge here in the press box. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count, as Koger delivers. Breaking ball outside. I always wonder that, because the approach of a pitcher is, okay, and a starting pitcher at that, probably going to get 1 start every 6 days. So the mentality and having to go into a game knowing, okay, this is my 1 start. I got to deal with these 3 or 4 innings, and then I'm good for the week. And it's always interesting to get that insight from pitchers. 2-2 breaking ball misses low.
And there are certainly a lot of factors that can impact a pitcher's mentality. I believe it was Sandstone who, when I was speaking to him at the beginning of the year, I asked about when he's pitching in a pitcher's duel, does that put more pressure on him? And he said the opposite. It kind of makes him feel more comfortable.
Payoff pitch misses in the dirt. Will Koger, after forcing a ground out from Matt Shaw, he walks Brennan Malone, and the Oregon Duck is on base for the first time today. So you've talked to Michael Sansone, you've talked to Jonathan Brand. Do you get anything from the two that, they feel any pressure of being at the top of that, you could say, glorified, maybe, I don't know if you can fully put it out there saying it's a rotation, but they're like the 1-2 guys. You get any insight from them knowing that, they're starting opening day and the next day, and they're the 1-2?
I haven't asked that one specifically, but they seem to be just really confident in their stuff, and they know that they can go out there, do what they do best, and they have a very talented team both offensively and defensively to support them.
Jack Duffy is at the plate, the lefty, heading to the University of Houston in the fall. Grounder in the second, he singled in the fourth. Will Koger, the third, is on the mound out of Louisville. First guy to the bullpen, Michael Sansone, 5 innings of work, only gave up a pair of earned runs. Koger, the 1-0. Fastball, slow chopper down the first base line and foul, and odd dimensions here at Spillane Field because the foul line is off of the infield grass. I know you've been down on the field a lot. Is it weird looking at a field like this and knowing the dimensions are odd in terms of the foul lines and then stone dust on the infield as well?
Well, especially compared to where we were last night. They have lots of space on either side of the foul lines and sort of a more shallow outfield. So it's interesting to see all of the different fields that make up this Cape League.
That was at Red Wilson Field against the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, the first time that Wareham had faced YD, and they'll do so a couple more times in July. So the Gatemen will be back there at the end of July, so we'll see that field, Red Wilson Field to be exact, around, I think it's July 23rd.
22nd.
22nd. See, I was close. One day.
23rd is our All-Star game, so make sure you go to gateman.org to get your tickets today.
It was purposeful, I promise.
He was just setting me up.
The blip was setting up Claire to plug the All-Star game,
That's
which
right.
We're really excited to see here. There's so many bleachers, so many stands. It's going to be great to see all the best in the Cape. That's a strikeout. Campos tags out Jack Duffy, and Will Koger with his first K out of the bullpen, and there's 2 away. I can't wait for the All-Star game. Here at Spillane, I think that many are expecting over 7,000 fans, which is insane. But when you look at the ballparks around the Cape, this is probably the best place to have it, knowing that you have so much space in deep left field. And then you have the bleachers to the right and left of us in the press box. So, it's going to be so fun.
Well, we are so fortunate to have such a talented group of athletes from all over the country be here throughout the summer, and then to just have one big showcase bringing them all together for a great night of baseball is just fantastic. And you know what? You don't have to cross the bridge to get there. Don't have to worry about that Cape traffic.
Exactly. Once you're over the bridge, you're good. And if you're already on this side of the bridge, you're right.
Even better.
No traffic. You kind of just get to breeze in. You got a lot of parking here at Wareham High School.
That's right.
And we got lights.
We have lights.
We got lights. You have a beautiful
great concession stand.
Exactly. A beautiful scoreboard as well.
One of the only concession stands in the Cape League to serve chicken tenders. And they're very good, I hear.
Very good. I've had a couple. Okay, more than a couple. Fastball's fouled away. I love the chicken tenders here. I love the scenery here. It's always nice to walk around the ballpark and see all the smiling faces and know that everyone, you're right, gets to see the best talent in college baseball. It is so cool that everyone merges into one area. So instead of having to go to Tennessee and then having to go to UCLA and jumping around parts of the nation, get one spot. Beautiful weather, Cape League baseball.
That's right. And it's a beautiful day or night turning into down here at Spillane Field.
Hey, I want to ask you this, because one thing with the Cape is, and you said night and day, half the time when I look out on these games, when I say, oh, 7th strikeout on the night, it's not the night, but it is, but it's just so beautiful out. It looks like it's 2 o'clock.
That's right. And it gets a little tricky on these summer nights. What is it? June 21st is the longest day of the year. Sometimes sun doesn't set till almost 9 o'clock.
Oof. Yeah, so
I guess it is still day.
And at, 8:30, it still looks like it's 1.
Only 7:49 right now.
There you go.
Plenty of daylight.
Pitch to Chris Brito, runner goes. It's popped up, stays in the infield. Derek Fabian moves in. Almost ran into the runner in Brennan Malone, but makes the grab, and that'll retire the side. Through 5.5, it's still a 2-2 ball game. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching Wareham Gateman Baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
What's up, Gateman fans? Looking for Wareham jerseys, shirts, and hats? You can find all of that and more online at gateman.org/shop. Visit to get all your Gateman gear today.
Hey Gateman fans, don't miss out as the Wareham Gatemen head to Worcester, Mass. to take on the Bourne Braves at Polar Park, the home of the Worcester Red Sox. This special game at Polar Park takes place Monday, July 25th with a 6:45 first pitch. Tickets start at just $10, so head to gateman.org to get yours today.
The 2022 Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star Game will be hosted by the Wareham Gatemen on Saturday, July 23rd. Join the CCBL's best as they take to the diamond in front of scouts from every MLB organization here at Spillane Field. Gates open at 2 p.m., Home Run Derby will begin at 5, and first pitch is at 6:05 p.m. Tickets will be available through the league and Gateman website.
We're at Spillane Field in the bottom of the 6th on the Gateman Broadcast Network alongside Claire Foley, who's joining me in the booth for this inning. I'm Cameron Ezeir. So Ryan Fisher is back out on the mound out of the New Jersey Institute of Technology, and he'll face the bottom of the order in Blake Wright, Kellum Clark, and Derek Fabian. Blake Wright out of Clemson grounded out in the 1st and then forced a 5-pitch walk in the 4th. Still 2-2 though. It's been the same since the 2nd inning. Wright cracks one to center field. Harris drifts to his left, makes the grab. Blake Wright is retired for the 2nd time today, which gives way to Kellum Clark, who did not play yesterday, and a win 11-3 over the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. Now, Claire, I know you were at the game yesterday, and you watched it in its entirety as Wareham looked so good through all 9 innings. Biggest takeaways from that game for maybe the viewers or listeners that weren't able to watch it in that 11-3 win?
Yeah, it was one of the most solid team performances I've seen from these Gateman players this summer. Just on both sides of the field, they were supporting Jonathan Brand's outing yesterday with runs, and it started with a 2-run shot by Hogan Windish in the 3rd, and then a 5-run 4th inning.
That blew it open, made it 7-0. Kellum Clark takes an off-speed pitch high, and then ultimately it was 7-3, and then a couple more tacked on in the 6th, and then the 9th, 11-3. I've labeled it as a total team win, and maybe one of the first outside of that Hyannis win a couple weeks ago in which Wareham won 11-5. I don't know if there's a theme with this team. When they score 11 runs, it's a total team win.
Just score 11. That's all you need. If you score 11, this team will win.
Exactly.
That's all you have to do, right? The key to winning any game, just score more runs than the other team.
Exactly. Rope to right for Kellum Clark, base hit. So
Kellum must have heard us. He knows what to do now.
100%. He must have heard us in the 4th as well, because that's his 2nd hit. And Kellum Clark has a multi-hit game, which brings up Derek Fabian.
Which is not unfamiliar to him. He had that game earlier in the season with 3 doubles.
And guess who it was against? Hyannis. Guess how many runs this Gateman team scored?
Was it 11?
It was 11. Maybe we're on the way to a 9-run frame with a 2-2 ball game. As Derek Fabian stands in. The Florida Gator takes a breaking ball in the dirt. There's only 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. And just wondering, if this game ends 2-2, it'll replicate when these two teams first faced off in a 2-2 ball game on June 13th. But you just wonder, will one team break the stalemate? 1-0, check swing, it missed outside, and David Perry says that Fabian did not go. Now, I'm wondering, did you have a chance, because when the Florida Gators came here, and Michael Robertson, Ty Evans, and Derek Fabian, did you have a chance to talk to any of them about, having their teammates along with the ride? Because I think that's helped Derek Fabian in his progression on the Cape. There's the pitch, and it's called for a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, I talked to Ty Evans about that exactly, and he said the three of them came in, they only knew each other, and they're all relatively younger guys, so when you have familiar faces, especially in teammates, it does help make that transition a little easier.
Runner goes Kellum Clark. He slides in. The throw was there, but it bounces off the glove of John Peck. Heading over to third is Clark. And Kellum Clark steals his first bag of the summer, and get this, that matches the amount of stolen bases he had in the spring at Mississippi State. And I feel like I've been throwing it out there for all the masses that watch and listen to us, that Kellum Clark, the amount of times that a pitcher will look over at first and try to pick off Kellum Clark,
that's right,
is more than broadcast that I've been on this summer. And finally, Kellum Clark does go. It was a good throw from Tomas Frick, but off the glove of the shortstop Peck, and Clark is at third. Now the infield moves in, and Derek Fabian, a loose swing, the count moves full. Were you thinking the same thing?
Exactly. The amount of times pitchers have checked on him, they might have, and done so without the numbers supporting it, they might have given him the confidence he needed.
Exactly. Maybe given this Wareham team the confidence to actually steal bags from now on. Payoff pitch inside to Fabian. He'll draw a walk and head over to first for the first time today, and now that's the third walk drawn by this Wareham team. Runners at the corners. Another opportunity. The past couple have been squandered. Runners at the corners in the fifth. Bases loaded in the fourth. The first is the only time that we've seen the Gatemen capitalize.
And we got a really good team guy coming up to the plate here in Jack Hausinger. As you mentioned before, I'm assuming all the positions he can play, but just a good attitude.
The guy that loves the game as well. I know you talked to him earlier on in the season, and he's a jokester, but he's also serious in his preparation for each and every game.
Absolutely. He's routinely one of the first ones down at the field every day to get some early BP in, and while he's doing that, he and the other guys are doing the same, he's out there shagging balls for him. And he said he's an old man now. He's 22, and being 24 myself, I resent that a bit. But nonetheless,
Hausinger laces it foul to the right side. The count is 1-2.
But nonetheless, he is a veteran, and typically a veteran doesn't have to do those kind of things. But him, and also it's usually Peter Burns, again, another veteran, are those guys who are putting their right foot forward, showing that attitude. As our fellow broadcaster Cade likes to say, it's all about culture.
Exactly. Yeah, Cade Crenshaw is down doing radio tonight. You can head over to our Mixler to listen to him. He always does a great job, and he'll be back up in the booth real soon. And it talks about that culture, and I think that this team just trying to express it over the past games or so as it's fouled back from Hausinger. Because in the last week, and I've called Jack an unsung leader of this team, because in the past week, this team hasn't really been out of any game. Yes, that 6-1 loss to Hyannis a couple days ago, but other than that, I mean, I feel like guys like Peter Burns and Jack Hausinger are the mainstays to lead this team in the right direction.
Absolutely. This is a good group of ball players. You just sort of have to give that perspective that this is an elite league. There are good players on the other team too, and I would agree. I don't think there have been too many games that this Gateman team has been out of.
Right now, they're 7-11-1. They're fourth in the West Division. 2-2 pitch, fouled away.
But to talk about Jack's attitude again, when you have a summer league like this where, again, it's guys coming from all over the country, these guys don't know each other. And sometimes, and when guys are coming and going, it's hard to get that group mentality and become an actual team. But when you have leaders like Jack, like Peter Burns, who are showing and leading by example, that certainly helps build the team chemistry, which a lot of the time plays out well on the field.
Chop to the right side, over to second for one, back to first, double play. That'll end the sixth, and we'll head to the top of the seventh, still in a 2-2 ball game. And Claire, I say thank you so much for joining me in the sixth inning. You always do a great job near the dugout, and I'm willing to say, I think you did an equal amount of. Let me try to phrase this. I think you did equally well up here in the booth. So
I appreciate that. I've been listening to the three of you guys a lot this summer, trying to pick up notes, and like I said, get comfortable with the uncomfortable. So I appreciate you having me here.
Love it. Well, that's my parting message. Is Claire, you'll head back down and maybe get a story or two at the end of this ball game. We head to the top of the seventh in a 2-2 ball game between the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen. We'll be back to more baseball at Spillane Field on the Gatemen Broadcast Network.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services.
Now we're back at Spillane Field, and we welcome back Alex Fuez to the broadcast booth. Cameron Ezeir with you, and now alongside Alex Fuez. Claire Foley did a fantastic job. I'm hoping that maybe you can one-up her in the final 3 innings. Well, you're back anyway, and so is Will Koger on the mound. Deals the first pitch, and that's a strike at the bottom of the zone to the lefty Evan Slight out of Rutgers. Now, for all the watchers that aren't aware of why Alex was not on in the sixth, as the 0-1 pitch from Koger is lifted to left. Clark, a can of corn catch, and there's one away. You were on the airwaves of WEEI. How was that?
It was fun. It was good to talk with Reed Becker, a student at Dean College right now, but he's interning with the Cape Cod League, and every Sunday night, WEEI, the local Boston radio sports show, the official radio station of the Boston Red Sox. They carry the Red Sox games. Reed is the color commentator and brings on people to interview, so it was always good to talk with Reed.
Koger the pitch after retiring Evan Slight to Tomas Frick of UNC, North Carolina Chapel Hill. This just the 4th game of his Cape summer. As Koger gets set to deal the 0-1 in a 2-2 game. A lot of scoreless frames up on the scoreboard. The count even 1-1. So I'm wondering, and maybe this is a call out to Reed Becker, I mean, what qualified Mr. Alex Fuez to go on WEEI that I didn't pass that qualification?
I don't know.
1-1 pitch, breaking ball is fouled out of play. A little bit of shade over there from WEEI now. It's always great that Cape Cod baseball is broadcasted not just on a radio station of that magnitude that carries Red Sox games, but Nesson as well carries the TV games for the Red Sox. Breaking ball misses low. The count's 2-2. Now I'm curious of what you two talked about. Anything that caught your attention? Any question from Reed?
No, it was just more so just updating. He's asked questions just about the Gatemen. Nothing out of the ordinary.
2-2, fastball misses outside. Well, I'll tell our viewers that the Gatemen are 7-11-1 and are only a point higher than the Falmouth Commodores, who are right now resting out of the playoff picture in the West Division. Payoff pitch. Fastball, high fly ball, deep left center field. Windish ranges back, makes the grab. 2 down. Will Coger's done a great job backing up the unbelievable performance by Michael Sansone.
Yeah, I mean, coming into tonight, pitching 6 2/3, only giving up 3 hits and 1 run. And that's a guy that obviously throughout the season is a reliable piece in that bullpen, and just trying to pick up where Sansone left off, and he's done a great job so far.
And just as Sansone was so good, Will Coger, you're right, has been so good so far this season. In 2 appearances, has only given up 1 earned run. Close to 7 innings of work as well entering this one. Harris golfs one out to right. Base hit. Dakota Harris gets on base for the first time today, and that's the first hit given up by Will Coger. And as the bats have started to pick up, it seems like in the past week, this pitching staff for Wareham has started to settle in. They weren't out of that Brewster game in a 3-2 loss, had a chance to win it in the bottom of the ninth. Katuitt, yeah, the offense was good, but the pitching to keep Katuitt only at 5 runs through 8 innings was great. Even against Hyannis giving up 6 runs, it's not 10 or 11 for a Harbor Hawks team that's been so good over the past week and a half, and then, of course, against YD yesterday. First pitch to Bryce Eblin out of Alabama. Fastball, laced to left. Now 2 on for the Bourne Braves in the top of the 7th. In a tie game, and it's been this way ever since the middle of the 2nd inning. As I say that, you can implement the broadcaster jinx. But still, Will Coger hasn't given up a run today. And well, a lot of goose eggs up on the scoreboard after Wareham scratched across 2 in the bottom of the 1st. And Bourne responded with a 2-run shot in the top of the 2nd. His pitching coach Eddie Marco heads back to the mound. First time that he's there today, and he's going to talk it over with Will Coger as the infield converges as well.
Yeah, both of these 2 teams looking to break through and snap that 2-2 tie the last time, and well, the only time they played each other this year. It ended in a 2-2 tie.
That's the game of baseball for you. Wareham winners 11-3 over the YD Red Sox yesterday. Offense looked unstoppable against a pitching staff that was seemingly unhittable. And now today, this Gateman team has left a whole lot of guys on base, which was an issue prior to that YD win. In the 3 games prior to yesterday, Wareham had left a combined 27 on base. So you hope that isn't a theme that carries forward, and it starts with today. And still 3 innings to go, and right now Bourne trying not to make that a theme of their game as well. John Peck steps in after a pair of 2-out singles from Dakota Harris, who's at 2nd, and Bryce Eblin at 1st. Peck got a Pepperdine. Runners go, ball in the dirt, and both will be safe. And it's one of those calls on the double steal where you really are only going to have an opportunity if that pitch is straight into the mitt of your catcher, in this case Ryan Campos. Once it bounced in the dirt, both runners were easily safe. 2 away in the top of the 7th. 2-2 ball game. Bourne and Wareham, 2 teams in the West Division that are trying to catch up with Hyannis and Katuitt. But both are in the playoff picture as of today, July 3rd. 2 in scoring position, 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball just misses.
And on that double steal, Harris was already down, about halfway down to 3rd base before Coger could even deliver the pitch.
One ball, 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch. Fastball gets away from Coger. Campos, fortunately for him, didn't let it get away from him because there is the go-ahead run 90 feet away from the plate. A danger zone for this Wareham team in a 2-2 tie. Second and third, 2 away. 2-1 pitch. Peck lays off. For a guy in John Peck that struggled to lay off, a strikeout swinging in each of his first 3 at-bats. Coger has 1 strikeout that was back in the 6th, following up the outstanding performance of Michael Sansone, who had 7 Ks. 3 of them to John Peck, who's at the plate. Now Peck is in a great position for the Bourne Braves. 3-1. Breaking ball. Ooh, dotted the outside corner. Here we go. Runners at second and third. Dakota Harris at third. Bryce Eblin at second. Pair of 2-out singles. Tie ball game, top of the 7th. 2 away. Upcoming's the payoff pitch. The runners will be off. Base hit scores both. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. Huge spot for Will Koger III, and he responds with his 2nd strikeout and the 4th of the day on John Peck. And we head to the bottom of the 7th in a 2-2 tie. Wareham and Bourne going at it for the 2nd time this season in a little home-and-home magic on 4th of July weekend. We'll be back for more Wareham Gateman baseball after the 7th inning stretch here at Spillane Field on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We offer over 400 different beverage choices on Cape Cod to quench every thirst, and more than 150 of those are low or no-calorie options.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
Gibson Sotheby's International Realty is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. List your home with Eastern Massachusetts' premier real estate firm. Don't just get it on the market, get it the attention it deserves. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
With competitive pay, state-of-the-art facilities, and opportunities in service, sales, accounting, HR, marketing, IT, and more, a job at Milton Cat, the Northeast Caterpillar dealer, is more than a career choice. It's a choice career. Visit miltoncat.com/careers to join their growing team. What a gorgeous backdrop at Spillane Field. Cotton candy-like skies. Day before 4th of July, and I say day before, we're near 4 hours away from it. With Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir. Another Camel has loped out onto the mound in Ty Cummings. He's out of Campbell University. Cade Boxrucker, the starter, who finished with a final line of 3 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks and 2 walks, was the first Camel we saw. As Cummings delivers the pitch to Hogan Windish, misses outside, and between him, Ryan Fisher out of the New Jersey Institute of Technology was on the mound. His final line, 2 2/3, 3-hit baseball, no runs given up, a strikeout and a walk. See what Ty Cummings can accomplish here in the 7th. Pitch misses inside to Hogan Windish. This is a player in Cummings. 2nd team All-Big South. Was part of the Big South All-Tournament team as well. Was even a Freshman of the Week last year when he played for Campbell. This past spring, a 4-1 record. A team-high 6 saves. So interesting to see Bourne utilizing him in the 7th and maybe not waiting till later. But that's his role on the Bourne Bravos. It counts 2-0 to Hogan Windish out of the 2-hole. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Cuts on one, pops it up to second. Eblin camps under it, makes the grab. There's 1 away. Always accomplish something when you can retire Hogan Windish, who leads this team with 24 hits after an RBI double back in the 1st. Brings up Alan Roden. Big spot for Ty Cummings. In a tie ball game facing the best part of the order for the Gatemen. And first Hogan Windish, then Alan Roden and Max Anderson, and even Carter Graham to follow. Roden swings at the first pitch, fouls it off to the left side. Alan Roden out of Creighton, hit by a pitch in the first, grounded out into a double play in the third. Took some more pain in the fifth. He's also hit by another pitch. 0-1. Fastball, reached down, chopped up. Cummings grabs it, hops over to first. There's supposedly 2 away, but Alan Roden believes that hit off home plate or maybe a part of his shoe.
I think it hit off his foot.
That's what Roden is trying to lobby to home plate umpire Bob Bland, and he'll head out to talk to his umpiring crew near the first base bag and David Perry, and then it's Mike Beal running in over from third base. I don't know if Bob Bland had a great view of it because he was behind Roden, and yeah, they're going to call Alan Roden out. So a chopper over to the right side, and it's a 1 unassisted as Ty Cummings picked it up and raced over to first. I don't know, I didn't have a great view of that one, but the way that the ball chopped up so high, or it was a chance, because he was hit it so close to his foot that it did hit off of his foot, which would result in a foul ball, but now it gives way to Max Anderson. Pitches low from Cummings.
I mean, on a play like that, you got to go for it if you even think that it didn't touch you, but obviously Roden knew it hit him. He didn't move.
So Roden's in the dugout. Max Anderson's at the plate. The Nebraska Cornhusker, former Big Ten Freshman of the Year, batted .299 in his follow-up season as a sophomore in the spring. 2-0 fastball in the dirt, and here's a really cool storyline. Max Anderson, he's one of 3 former Big Ten Freshmen of the Year to play for the Gatemen. The other 2, Nick Swisher in 2000, of course, had a great career with the Yankees and other teams as well. Alex Dickerson in 2009 and 2010. So he's part of that unique club. Fastball at the bottom of the zone, count 3-1. Not just that, he was second team All Big Ten, along with Big Ten Freshman of the Year in 2021. Was on the Big Ten All Freshman team and played for the Bourne Braves last summer. Chopper up the middle, gets past the glove of Peck. Base hit for Max Anderson. First knock of the day, and Max extends his hit streak to 8. It's a good sign to see, Alex.
I mean, this is exactly what we kind of knew that Max Anderson was. I think all around one of the best hitters in this lineup, and Harvey Shapiro has always hit him either 3 or 4 in this lineup, always hoping that he'll find his swing, and he's done so. Even though he first hit of the night, he's just been phenomenal at the plate.
Played for the Bourne Braves last year and slashed .273. In the last 9 games, over .360 on the batting average for Anderson. A couple crow hops towards second, reverts back to first as Carter Graham's at the plate. Picked up his first base hit on the summer back in the 5th after getting hit by a pitch in the 4th. It's good to see that Carter Graham is okay, as he had to wear that ball in the back. 1-0. Fastball cut on and missed.
Now Max Anderson, 9-game on-base streak.
Wow. Really found his stride. It's a good sight to see if you're a Gateman fan. 1-1. Graham, another swing and a miss. And along the lines of Max Anderson, I talked about that .299 batting average, but in the month of May to end his sophomore season at the collegiate level, 19-54, a .352 average. So he entered this season already on a hot streak, and he's kind of picked up the pieces of a crumbling open to this Cape League season. He's played so well. 1-2. Pitch misses outside, and I think a lot of us are hoping that the production and the progression of Max Anderson translates over to a guy like Carter Graham, who's also struggled in the opening portion of the season, but he gets on a streak, and all of a sudden Carter Graham's the best hitter on this team.
Well, I think the whole team struggled. The first 3 games only hitting 128.
2-2, runner goes. Graham ropes to left, base hit. Anderson has to stall, head back to second. Carter Graham, he's busted out on the scene. 2 base hits after Carter Graham opened up the season 0 for his first 12 and welcomed the Stanford Cardinal to Cape League baseball.
Reached base 3 times tonight, was hit by a pitch back in the 4th, but back-to-back singles ever since.
Great sight to see for a player in Carter Graham that had one of the best seasons from an underclassman that Stanford has ever seen. Led the Pac-12 in home runs for .330 average. Ty Cummings getting talking to for a team in Bourne that lost to the Falmouth Commodores, who are in the cellar of the West Division. The least amount of points in that division. 6-4 was the loss, and this is a Bourne Braves team that not just getting shut out, but the Falmouth Commodores were twirling a no-hitter through 6, and Bourne finally found their way on the base paths in the last couple of innings, but eventually fell 6-4 and broke a streak in which the Bourne Braves had won 3 in a row, and they looked like they were turning around their season. But now even at 500 at 8-8-3, Ty Cummings stays in the ball game. Very relieved Ryan Fisher here in the 7th. Got the first 2 out, and then Max Anderson in the 4-hole, Carter Graham in the 5 spot. Pair of singles, which brings up Ryan Campos. Pitch misses in the dirt. Tomas Frick finds it beneath his legs and counts 1-0. I don't know if there's any other player, maybe other than Hogan Windish, that you would want in this position outside of Ryan Campos and how good he's been, not just at the plate, but with runners in scoring position.
Campos clutch.
I like that. Nice little alliteration you got going there. 1-0. Fastball in the dirt. What I like the most about Ryan Campos is the walk numbers aren't there as they are with Jack Hausinger and Blake Wright. But it seems like over half of his plate appearances result in a 2-2 or a full count. He's so good at just picking out his pitches. I've talked about it a lot before, how a guy in Ryan Campos who's just a redshirt freshman, he plays like a senior.
Well, usually the catchers are the one that can see the pitches the best. Yeah, the best plate discipline usually. Although better than anyone.
With 2 on, Campos is hit. Drops to the floor. Hops back up. He seems to be okay. And gives a word to Blake Wright. Because the Clemson Tiger is in a huge spot. Ryan Campos heads over to first, and that's the 4th hit batsman by this Bourne Braves pitching staff. But hey, you take the pain because you get a free base, and now the bases are juiced with 2 away. The same scenario in the 4th. Wareham was unable to scratch across any runs. The pitch. In the dirt, good stop. Frick drops to his knees. Blake Wright in the 7-hole. Ground out in the 1st. He walked in the 4th. Flew out in the 6th. Well, he'd take a replication of that 4th inning if he could. That would at least drive home a run. The go-ahead run is at 3rd in Max Anderson.
Right, working into just a pure hitter's count right here.
But the batting average in the spring, that ranked top 25 in the ACC. But all that matters, well, he's peering out on the base paths. Anderson's at 3rd, Graham's at 2nd, Campos at 1st. 2 away in the bottom of the 7th in a tie ball game with a division rival. Cummings on the mound, the 2-0. Wright swings, ropes that one to center. Dakota Harris moves in, makes the catch. For the 2nd frame today, the Wareham Gateman strand, the bases loaded, and we head to the top of the 8th, still in a tie ball game. As the Bourne offense looks to replicate what Wareham has done over the past couple of innings. The difference, well, they want to bring home a couple runs. Tie ball game at Spillane. We head to the top of the 8th on the Gateman Broadcast Network. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham and 2318 Acushnet Avenue in New Bedford. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com. A beautiful day in Wareham, Massachusetts for an interdivisional game between the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen. We're in the top of the 8th, and there's a pitching change on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen is Nico Mazza out of Southern Miss after Will Koger did his due diligence and pitched a couple scoreless frames following the unbelievable performance by Michael Sansone to start off this game. Alongside Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir. We've ranged into the 8th, and we're oh so close from the same score as these two teams had back on June 13th in the first matchup. A reminder that the Wareham Gatemen are back in action tomorrow on the 4th of July against these same Bourne Braves, but at Doran Park. It'll probably be just as beautiful there, and this is a Gateman team that's had its chances. They've left 11 on base on 8 hits and just 2 runs to show for it.
Yeah, Mazza making his 3rd appearance on the season. 2 2/3 pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 3 Ks. A 3.37 ERA on this season.
And he's dealing with the heart of the order. Matt Shaw, who leads this team in batting average. Then Brennan Malone, who's now played on 3 Cape teams in the last 2 seasons. And Jack Duffy, who's top 10 in the Cape in batting average. Shaw fouls it off. Well, Nico Mazza will need to keep this game at a tied score if Wareham hopes to have a chance to win this game. It's a Bourne team that scored 4 runs past the 7th inning in yesterday's loss to Falmouth, so they're known for their late game production. You know, Wareham's going to look at that 11 left on base total, and it might rear its ugly head today. Mazza the 2-1. It's fouled away.
And the Gatemen have yet to win a game that's either been they've been trailing or tied after 7 innings.
Oh.
They're looking for their first comeback win on the season.
And a reminder that it was 2-1 Braves in the 8th on June 13th when these teams faced off for the first time. Slow grounder to the left side. Fabian scoops up over to first in time to get Matt Shaw. And then Wareham tied it up in the bottom of the 8th to make it 2-2, and then it was a tie ball game in the second game of the season. Nico Mazza already off to a great start. Forces a ground out from Matt Shaw, who already had a double back in the 3rd. Brings up Brennan Malone, the designated hitter, played a couple of years at South Carolina and transferred over to Oregon. He walked in the 6th, flew out in the 3rd, struck out in the 1st. First pitch, that's ball 1.
On the bench, one of the options have yet to make their Gateman debut this season, played with him last year, was just activated today, is Owen Diodati, the center fielder from Oregon.
The Brennan Malone's teammate, and now I'm wondering, you know, in the later stages of this game, we've seen Brian Padilla pinch hit, we've seen Ty Evans do the same, we've seen Ian Farrow earlier in the season as well. Here's the 1-1. High fly ball, shallow right. Easy catch for Alan Roden out in right field. 2 retired in the top of the 8th. Well, Harvey Shapiro turned to his bench, and we weren't for sure told if Owen Diodati would play today because he just arrived, but we've seen Brian Padilla have a pinch hit home run against Brewster earlier in the week, so it's the day before 4th of July. All I'm going to say is there could be fireworks in the air. And Owen Diodati represents that in the dugout.
And he is ready to pinch hit.
Duffy fouls it back. Yeah, we know he's ready. We'll see if he gets into the action. So after forcing a ground out and a fly out, Jack Duffy is up the right fielder, a single back in the fourth. Bounced in the dirt. The only 2 runs for the Braves, courtesy of Evan Slight. 2-run homer in the second. The only runs for the Gatemen back in the first, in which it looked like the offense that was going to maybe be a launch pad after picking up 3 hits and scoring 2 runs in the first, but scoreless frames since. Clock to left center. It'll drop for a base hit and maybe an extra base knock. Yes, it will be for Jack Duffy as he glides into second, slides off for a split second, but heads back to the bag. That's a double for Jack Duffy, his second base knock of the day. The Bourne Braves are in business against Nico Mazza. Top of the 8th, runner in scoring position for Chris Brito, who already has a single today and has scored a run.
Mazza just looking to keep this game tied. Let the offense try to do their job once again.
The offense in the bottom of the 8th will be the 8-9-1 of Kellum Clark, Derek Fabian, Jack Hausinger, but we're not throwing out the possibility of a pinch hitter. Huge spot for Nico Mazza. Swing and a miss. Good start. Gets Chris Brito out of Rutgers swinging. The on-deck circle is Evan Slight, who's accounted for both RBIs today. 0-1. Breaking ball low. This counts even. This could be a huge win for the Wareham Gatemen. You extend what I would call a win streak to 2, but you would need a win the next day as well to call it a win streak. But either way, consecutive wins for just the 3rd time this season, that would be big. Mazza gets ready. 1-1 to Brito. Chops it sharply foul to the left side. Talked about it a lot this season, Alex. This team is able to string together a couple wins. Maybe a tie here or there. It isn't a loss. You pick up the points. The ceiling of this team, I mean, we saw a portion of it yesterday in an 11-3 win, but the potential of this team could be great.
When all cylinders are working, this team is tough to beat.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count with 2 away. Campos, great job behind the plate, snaring it out of the air. It's really rare for the Wareham Gatemen to lose when pitching is phenomenal, hitting is great, and the defense also doesn't commit errors. Today, the offense just hasn't been there, but the pitching, it's been there in full force. Runner at second is Jack Duffy off a double in the last at-bat. 2-2 pitch. Cracked, deep left field. If it's fair, it's gone. It is foul. Chris Brito put an absolute ride into that ball, and it just kept hooking foul. And the Gatemen are still alive.
The heartbeat, I think, on everyone part of this Gateman team shot up when they heard their shot off the bat from Brito there, but just going foul. Oof.
Alex, I said the word cracked because it almost sounded like it cracked his bat. How hard that ball was hit. 2-2 in a 2-2 ball game with 2 away. The pitch. Breaking ball just fouled back. Getting a tiny sliver of it is Chris Brito. So far this season for Chris Brito entering this game, batted .200. He has 7 extra base hits, but I think a single would do. The runner at second and 2 away. 2-2. Breaking ball. He got him! Nico Mazza strikes out Chris Brito, and we head to the bottom of the 8th, and it's up to the Wareham Gatemen offense to try to break this stalemate. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Broadcast Network. We'll be back for bottom of the 8th action at Spillane.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod to the major leagues. Only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing. From the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
We venture into the bottom of the 8th at Spillane Field. Alongside Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir. The Wareham Gatemen have 2 runs. Bourne Braves 2 as well. And we're in the bottom of the 8th. A reminder that Cape Cod Baseball League games can end in a tie. We will not play past 9 whatsoever. So it's a 2-2 game. It's been the same scoreline since the middle of the second after Wareham scratched across 2 in the first and Bourne responded in the second. Kellum Clark is up. Ty Cummings the pitch. Fouling it back. Clark, who's searching for his first 3-hit day since the first week of the season, in which he did so against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. That was an 11-5 victory.
3 doubles in that game.
And the Gatemen are good when Kellum Clark picks up 3 hits. Has 2 singles today. Fastball chops up the inner half. The count's 0-2. So Kellum Clark, who did not play yesterday and has seen sparse starting time, is in left field. He struck out in the second, single in the fourth, and the sixth. Cummings, the 0-2. Low. Hit .257 in the spring with 27 extra base hits out of Mississippi State. Oh, the Gatemen could use an extra base hit right now. And it would be the first of the day for Clark. Ty Cummings, the second arm out of the bullpen for the Braves. He didn't like the signs Tomas Frick was giving him. Steps off the rubber. Count stays 1-2. No outs in the bottom of the 8th. On deck is a pinch hitter in Brian Padilla. 1-2. It's fouled back out of play to the left side.
Still a great crowd on hand here at Spillane Field.
I think that's the beauty of a tight ball game, is these fans don't want to leave. It's intense. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. Misses low and outside. Always impressed by these fans at Spillane Field, and maybe it's just the great weather that keeps the fans in the ballpark on top of the fact that this is a great ball game. Beautiful day. 2-2 pitch. Clark chops it foul.
Well, between the great food, the music, and the great baseball action on the diamond, how can you not stay?
Spillane is a nice place to play. Wareham is fortunate enough to do so for 22 games and make it 23 because they're going to host the All-Star game. 2-2. Inside. Oh, just misses. Cummings didn't agree. The entire Bourne Braves dugout let out a groan. They thought that was strike 3. I think the entirety of Bourne let out a groan, as that one just missed inside. Kellum Clark 2 for 3 on the day. The payoff pitch. Clark drives it to left. It will fall for a base hit. Clark rounds first. He's heading to second. The throw from left is not in time, and an extra base knock for Kellum Clark. The Gatemen have a runner in scoring position with no outs in the bottom of the 8th in a 2-2 ball game.
And it looks like there'll be a pinch hitter in Brian Padilla in a big spot right off the bench.
Here comes Brian Padilla, like you mentioned. And Brian Padilla has been in this spot before. Not in a tie ball game. It's a 2-run deficit for the Gatemen. He quickly erased that 2-run deficit and made it a 1-run deficit against the Brewster Whitecaps earlier in the week. Now, eventually the Gatemen fell 3-2. But this is a guy with a lot of pop in his bat. Harvey Shapiro, a whole lot of wins under his belt, and he'll talk it over with Padilla out of UConn. Brian Padilla started yesterday. He's on a 5-game hit streak, which bodes well for the Gatemen.
Padilla, 7 for 11 against right-handers.
Wow. He'll have to do so. The first baseman, Brito, on the infield grass. Toes on the infield grass for the third baseman, Shaw. They want to relinquish any bunt attempt to move over the runner. 0-1. Showing bunt is Padilla pulls back. It was a strike anyway, dotted the outside corner. Do you bunt in this situation if you're Padilla, or you let it fly?
Well, I think you have to bunt. You know, it's almost a situation like, and now you'll see the bunt and remove the 0-2, but I think that was the key, but.
The count's 0-2. Padilla takes, and you're right, with 2 strikes after he didn't attempt to bunt on the first pitch and then did so on the second, wasn't able to snuff it out, and it was a strike anyway. He has to swing the lumber. Runner at second, Kellum Clark, leadoff double. He has 3 hits on the day. Gatemen haven't lost this season when Kellum Clark has 3 hits. Fastball called, strike 3 low. And Brian Padilla takes the slow, long walk to the dugout, and that's the first out of the 8th. Hey, but the positive sign for the Gatemen is now it's the top of the order. Jack Hausinger's at the plate, one of your best hitters. An unsung leader on this team. Hogan Windish in the on-deck circle. Due up even in the dugout if it gets to that point is Alan Roden. A lot of powerful hitters that know how to pick out their spots in this spot right now. First pitch to Hausinger, off speed, outside. Ty Cummings out of Campbell on the mound. 1-0. Hausinger fouls it back. Jack Hausinger leading off for just the 8th time this season. A single in the first. Popped out in the second, strikeout in the 4th, grounded into a double play in the 6th. Hausinger is 2 for his last 21, but could he be the hero in the 8th? 1-1. Swing and a miss. Count in favor of Cummings, 1-2. The sun is completely set. Dark blue skies. The lights have been on for a good while. It's 8:42. This game over 2.5 hours at Spillane. With a lot of scoreless baseball, it's just 2-2. 1-2. Fastball outside, count even. If there's anyone that you want in a 2-strike count in a huge spot, it is Jack Hausinger. Forced the second most walks on this team with 12. Also just knows how to choke up on his bat and stay patient. Ball 3.
Obviously with first base open, it's not incredible too much pressure for Cummings here, but you want to get out of this jam and not allow Clark to score and keep this game tied up.
Kellum's at second after a leadoff double. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks for Ty Cummings. And there's 2 away in the 8th after Cummings surrendered a leadoff double to Kellum Clark deep out to left field. Is this destined or what? For a player in Hogan Windish that leads this Gateman team in hits. Had an RBI double in the first. Has had a pair of 6-game hit streaks. He's up to 5 on this current hit streak. The runner in scoring position. Breaking ball. Called strike 1.
A double would score Clark easily.
Entered this game, did this Gateman team with runners in scoring position with 2 outs, a 147 average. You tell Hogan Windish that, he'll probably laugh it off. He has been so good for this Gateman team. Windish, slow roller to the right side. Eblin approaches, flips it over to first, and that retires the side. So after late drama in the bottom of the 8th, after Kellum Clark led off the inning with a double and made it a 3-hit day, well, Ty Cummings goes 1-2-3 after that to retire the side. We'll head to the top of the 9th in a 2-2 stalemate between a couple of interdivisional foes in the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen. Can either team break this feud? Well, we'll see in the top half of the 9th. 2-2 at Spillane on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This week's special celebration of Red Shirt Friday is sponsored by Ezeir Hats, Massachusetts State Lottery, and OT Sports. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Milton Cat is proud to support the Cape Cod Baseball League, from paving and landscaping to recreational boating and facility management. Milton Cat has the right equipment, parts, service, and technology to keep you working. Visit miltoncat.com to learn more.
Wherever you call home, from Boston to the South Shore to the South Coast to the Cape and Islands, Rogers Gray has you covered for all coastal homeowners insurance needs. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
We're in the top of the 9th at Spillane Field in a tie ball game. It's been this score ever since the middle of the 2nd. Both teams scoring their respective runs in the first 2 innings. It's 2-2 between the Gatemen and the Braves. With Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir. This is set to be a phenomenal finish. A defensive change as Brian Padilla is inserted at second base, Blake Wright at short, and a new pitcher on the bump in Alex Galvin.
Yeah, Galvin, this is his 3rd appearance in a Gateman uniform, has a save recorded, and it's not a safe situation. 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. He was utilized as a bullpen arm for the Cardinals this past season for Louisville. Made 16 relief appearances, pitched 17 innings with 20 Ks and 6 walks. Out of New Jersey.
Look to carry that over against Evan Slight, Tomas Frick, and Dakota Harris. 6, 7, 8 in the lineup. Slight, a 2-run homer in the 2nd. That's been the only offense for the Bourne Braves. They've mustered 6 hits on the day. 1 out. Strike outside corner.
Yeah, this Gateman team out-hitting the Braves 9-7. It's not the offense that's the issue, it's just the big hit. They left the bases loaded a number of times. 4th and the 7th.
1-1. Slight connects, fouls it off to the left side. And Alex, you're talking about leaving the bases loaded. It's a Gateman team that's stranded 12 on. You talk about a statistic coming back to bite Wareham. Leave the bases loaded in 2 separate innings. You've left 12 on base. I don't know what this other season statistics have shown, but that might be a game high. 1-2. Slight swing and a miss. Alex Galvin strikes out the home run hitter, and really the only offensive production for the Bourne Braves, and that's a huge punch out. There's one away in the ninth. Talk about this pitching staff. Alex, 7 strikeouts for Michael Sansone. Then Will Koger steps in. He records a couple. Nico Mazza relieves Koger out of Louisville. 1 strikeout. Now Alex Galvin with a K to his name as well. Done a really good job punching out these Bourne hitters. Fastball misses inside.
Well, this is not a stat. That's not great. There's actually 13 left on base
It's
today.
13, okay.
And this is the 3rd time that's happened this season.
Oh, jeez. It's not what you want if you're the gateman. Galvin the pitch to the pinch hitter, Joshua Moylan. Lefty batter out of East Carolina enters this game as a pinch hitter, the 185 Cape average. Part of an East Carolina team that made their 6th ever super regional back in the spring. 2-0. Moylan pops it up. Padilla charges in, makes the grab, and there's 2 away. Two down for Alex Galvin. He's made easy work of Evan Slight. And then a pinch hitter in Joshua Moylan. Now steps in Dakota Harris, the center fielder heading to Tennessee in the fall. Struck out in the 2nd, grounded out in the 5th, a single in the 7th. A reminder that Cape League games can end in a tie. If it's still interlocked after 9 innings, and right now it's tied up after 8. First pitch to Harris. Fouls it back. Dakota Harris is a switch hitter. We've seen him on the right side of the batter's box a couple times today, and this is the first time we're seeing him batting lefty against the righty Alex Galvin. Had a single in the 7th. That's one of 7 hits for the Braves. The pitch. Breaking ball, laced up the middle. Base hit for the Bourne Braves with 2 away in the top of the 9th, the 2nd in consecutive at-bats for Dakota Harris. Oh, we look back to the 7th inning, and the Bourne Braves with a pair of 2-out knocks. Now, retired was John Peck, who struck out to end the 7th. 2 were stranded on for the Braves, but might be a similar situation here. Bryce Eblin steps in out of Alabama. Bryce Eblin, a rising junior, his 15th Cape game. He was 0 for 3 with a walk the first time these two teams faced off in a 2-2 tie. Well, it's 2-2 tonight. Showing bunt is Eblin pulling back, fastball in the dirt. Odd approach. Eblin might be fast, but there are 2 outs in the top of the 9th.
1 for 3 on the night with a stolen base, but was victim to a just great play by Max Anderson at third back in the 3rd inning.
You know, Webb gem that had Max Anderson call off the starter Michael Sansone, laser it over to first. 1 away, Eblin shows bunt, pulls back, clips the inner half. Counts even 1-1. Back-to-back games where this Wareham pitching staff has almost taken the role of the infield and flashed their own version of their leather. Gave up only 3 runs yesterday, only 2 today. Runner goes, Eblin, slow chopper to the right side. Scooped up and thrown over to first. Alex Galvin goes 1-2-3 in the 9th. And now it's up to the Wareham Gatemen. Will this game end in a tie or a Wareham win? Those are the only 2 possible scenarios, and we'll see what happens. Due up for the Gatemen, Alan Roden, Max Anderson, and Carter Graham. We'll be back for the bottom of the 9th. Can the Gatemen pull it out? Well, we'll see. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Broadcast Network.
Tom and Jean Yockey were passionate about the game of baseball. Over their 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox, the Yockeys greatly invested in youth and amateur athletics in our community. They recognized the important skills baseball can bring to players both on and off the field. Cooperation, respect, teamwork, friendships, and confidence. The Yawkey Foundation has been proud to support the Cape League for more than 25 years.
Joanne Stevenson with Berkshire Hathaway and Robert Paul Properties brings over 21 years of real estate experience to the South Shore and Cape Cod area. The Robert Paul Properties team not only specializes in coastal luxury properties, but proudly serves our veterans in their home search or sell process. Joanne Stevenson is your local, homegrown agent who knows the area and knows the market. Call Joanne Stevenson with Robert Paul Properties for all your real estate needs. Located at 155 Front Street in Marion. In the bottom of the ninth, a 2-2 ball game between the Wareham Gatemen and the Bourne Braves. The Braves sitting at third in the West Division, Wareham at fourth. With Alex Fuez, I'm Cameron Ezeir. Wareham looking to make it 2 consecutive wins for just the third time this season. They'll be up to the 3, 4, 5 spots in the lineup, starting with Alan Roden. Pair of groundouts, pair of hit by pitches. Breaking ball from Ty Cummings misses low. Player in Ty Cummings that's tasked to finish out this game. He took over in the 7th. There's Roden. 1-0 pitch. Fastball down the pipe. Count even.
Yeah, big spot right here between Roden, Anderson, and Graham. 3 for 10 of the night, but 3 hit by pitches as well. Well, they've been on base 6 total times tonight and trying to break this tie in the 9th to win it.
1-1 pitch. Roden chopped to the right side. Snared. Brito races out Alan Roden. There's 1 away. A reminder that there are 3 outs recorded in the 9th, and Wareham is unable to score. It'll be a tie ball game, the 4th for the Bourne Braves, the 2nd for the Wareham Gatemen, and both ties for the Gatemen will be thanks to the Braves. The 3rd ground out, so the 2nd ground out to the first baseman Brito, where he took it himself for Alan Roden, brings up Max Anderson. It's 1 for 4 on the day. Swings at the first pitch, high chopper to the left side and through. Max Anderson with back-to-back base hits in his last 2 at-bats. And there's a runner at first with 1 away.
And the Gateman bullpen looks like they're doing dances in the bullpen.
I know it's not a rally situation, but there might be some rally hats over there. Most of the players are leaning up where the railing is to the dugout.
You know, I've never seen this before where the third base coach goes over and talks to a pinch runner, which appears to be Owen Diodati.
Wow, so Owen Diodati, who played for Wareham last year and just showed up this morning, he was eligible to play today, but didn't, and now he's going to get his first action this summer. And yeah, Harvey Shapiro is the third base coach, and after 24 years as a field manager in the Cape Cod Baseball League, he's probably used to running over as the third base coach. And one thing I always find interesting is Harvey never gives up his post. It doesn't matter, what age he is. He'll head out there, and he won't just be the field manager. He'll be the third base coach as well. He'll heckle these officials or these umpires, and he'll also go out there and be a part of the action on the offensive side. Carter Graham steps in. A single in the 5th, single in the 7th. He's hit by a pitch in the 4th. He's 2 for 3 on the day after starting the season 0 for 12. Home plate umpire Bob Bland take off his gear and head over to talk to his umpiring crew, which is interesting. I don't know what they would be talking about in this situation.
I think maybe the only thing that could be brought up, I didn't see the lineup card, but maybe Diodati was left off the batting card, when the lineup was exchanged. That would be the only thing.
Interesting, because we got a version of the lineup card, and when you look past who is in the starting lineup and go on the bench, Owen Diodati is there. The umpiring crew of Bob Bland, David Perry, and Mike Beal talk it over. Fortunately, we don't have a live mic on the field, so not 1,000% sure to why they met up, but I don't think it will matter in the end, as Owen Diodati's the pinch runner at first for Max Anderson. Took a hack at the first pitch and grounded it through the left side of the infield in that infamous 5.5 hole between the third baseman Shaw and the second baseman Peck. Brings up Carter Graham. He swings at the first pitch, ground ball up the middle. This could do it. Stepping on the bag, Peck throws over to first, and that's the ball game. Carter Graham grounds into a 6-3 double play, and that ends it at Spillane. And for the second time this season, in just as many games, the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen tie at 2 apiece. The Gatemen don't fall or rise. They just pretty much stay the same and add a tie to their record, 7-11-2. And for the Bourne Braves, they're now 8-8-4. And these two will go at it tomorrow, still without a winner between these two teams. So we'll see you on 4th of July. And if one of these teams ends up winning and it's not yet another tie, that'll be the first win they've had over the other team, because the first matchup it was 2-2, and in this game 2-2 as well. Lack of hitting, pitching was great, and ever since the first couple of innings, it's been a whole lot of goose eggs on the scoreboard. On the other side, we'll break things down after this 2-2 tie on the South Coast Health post-game show. Our own Claire Foley will join us with today's, you could say, player of the game. We'll see who she talks to. Yes, it wasn't a win, but it's a point. And that's something that the Gatemen will cherish as they up their total to 16 points, 2 clear of the Falmouth Commodores. On the other side, it's the South Coast Health post-game show on the Gatemen Broadcast Network. Stick with us.
The law firm of Lang, Exifaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exifaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Whether a night at the tap room for pub grub, dinner for the family, or a full-service catered event, Minkle Boys Catering. Food with passion. Book your event today. Local craft beer, great food, games, outdoor beer garden, and live music. That's all at Stone Path Malt. Better malt, better beer. Conveniently located across from Wareham Crossing in the West Wareham Industrial Park. Check them out.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. In-person and online classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in accounting, business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Looking for your dream home on the Cape? Gibson Sotheby's International Realty's dedicated team of real estate professionals are ready to make your dream a reality. Don't just look for a place, discover a home. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It only takes 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls, piled high on a grilled brioche and served hot buttered or just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gateman.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Gibson Sotheby's International Realty is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League, offering residential sales and vacation rentals across the Cape. We help you turn someday into right now. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
Welcome back to Spillane Field with Alex Fuez. I'm Cameron Ezeir. A 2-2 tie for the second time this season against the Bourne Braves for the Wareham Gatemen, and Wareham is now 7-11-2, so a point that's integral for this Gatemen team, especially knowing that, hey, you got 2 points yesterday and it's better than a loss.
Right, and especially as a big loss or tie, especially with Bourne, haven't lost to this team yet.
So it's 2-2 here, the final at Spillane, and we're going to head down to Claire Foley, who's with our South Coast player of the game, and Michael Sansone. 5 innings of work, 7 strikeouts. That's a season high. Claire?
Thanks, guys. Yes, here with today's starter, Michael Sansone. Michael, season high, 7 strikeouts today. Overcame a bit of adversity in there. What was your mentality to stay focused and still get that work done?
Yeah, I was just going out there and attacking each batter. Really tripled and quadrupled up on a lot of pitches today. And just tried to throw a lot of strikes and pitch to contact a little bit. Got, but I just go out there and I try to just fill up the zone mostly.
And striking out has been your strong suit this season, 24 so far. Has that been your focus, attack early?
Yeah, I think that's really every pitcher's focus, just really to attack early. For me, it's just been going well this summer, getting strikeouts. But it's really just trusting stuff and, attacking the zone. Guys get themselves out most of the time.
And as a full team win or tie tonight, how does it feel to get another chance tomorrow for you guys?
Yeah, it's good. We had that stretch where we were losing a lot of games. So even right now with the tie, you take it as a positive. So looking to get back on that winning streak a little bit here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Claire. Michael Sansone, he twirled today. I think he met the definition of twirling. 5 innings of work, only gave up 4 hits, didn't walk a batter. And now his splits, if you look at his statistics, 24 strikeouts to just 1 walk. He has been sensational.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Harvey Shapiro said he was, right? Michael Sansone came into this season, pitched for Harvey last year in Bourne, and it's a guy that's a strike thrower and can command the zone, and he did so tonight. 7 Ks, that's what you're looking for. Obviously not a win, but not a loss. So I count this as a win.
There you go. We take the point, right? Against Catuit a couple days ago, Wareham was just 1 out away from a point, ended up losing that game. So you're right. It's not a loss, and you have a chance against the same Bourne Braves team tomorrow. Final line from today's game is the Wareham Gatemen score 2 runs on 10 hits. The Bourne Braves 2 runs on 8 hits. That'll close things out. For Claire Foley and Alex Fuez and our producer, Joey Demaray, I'm Cameron Ezeir saying so long and enjoy your night and 4th of July tomorrow. We'll see you then.